Well, it's been a long time. Was Fire Per World the last thing we talked about? It's been like 2, 3 weeks. 3 weeks. This is episode 94 of Critical. I'm Mago, joined as always by my co-host Liger Busa. It has been 3 weeks since we recorded, and I'm glad that nothing has happened since the last time we spoke, so this should be a relatively short episode.
Yeah, right? It's been like super quiet.
Yeah. We have no news to talk about with wrestling or wrestling video games or wrestling action figures. Just nothing's happened in that. Fuck it. Power Town. We'll just lead with it. So I had mentioned on the show, I think, that I had hit up a firm and opened disputes. And this is before we get to the Greg Gagne Magnum TA podcast that I've read the recaps and heard the recaps of. So 2 weeks after that, I'm at work and I check my email and I have 2 emails from a firm saying my shit had been resolved. And all of a sudden, I had there's like $500 some in my bank account. And I was like, God damn, buddy. And then I was like, okay, so by the end of the day, I should have, number 3. And then I didn't get it. And I was going to talk about it the following week. But I was up till 2 a.m. watching Canelo and Crawford. I also felt like shit. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to be up for 8 a.m. to do a podcast.
Yep.
So we didn't get to, and then, there's this week. So yesterday during the pay-per-view, I got my Remco refund. And I messaged, I think it might have been Wrestling Figure News. And I was like, saga's over for me. They're never getting another dime from me. And so have you heard about the Gagne and Magnum podcast?
There's just a little bit that you told me, and I forget, but I remember Magnum saying something really stupid on there that you told me.
Allegedly, he told people he would slap them with his good hand if they said any of this to his face. And my immediate reaction to that was like, Terry, you could swing at me. I would just grab your little Segway and push it. And then what are you going to do?
Is that his gloved hand?
I guess. I mean, who knows if he can put the glove on anymore. And I guess he said like, oh, if you poke the bear enough, I'll go away and you'll wish I hadn't.
You'll never see me again.
Yeah, and he, I guess, started taking shots at Matt Cardona once when Cardona was in the chat. People were paying money, sending in super chats that the fucking dumbass hosting the podcast just didn't even fucking read. So he made a bunch of money off of questions that never even got asked, and he looked terrified to ask any questions anyway. Greg Gagne was a complete fucking schmuck like he always is, so who fucking cares there? And Magnum was like, oh, the Remcos are done. Apparently, fucking the other 2 series haven't even gone into production yet.
Oh, great.
Which, okay. And then, like, oh, they'll be delivered this fiscal year. Well, what does that mean? Because every company has a different fiscal year. Their fiscal year could have started the second Magnum TA said that, and people could be waiting until next fucking September. Like, they offered no fucking answers. They offered, I guess Magnum like repeatedly mocked action figure collectors, all the while saying like, oh, we're changing the business model. Nothing will go up for sale until it's been manufactured and it's in a warehouse ready to go. No, you're done. Deliver these figures and walk the fuck away. Nobody's, even if Power Town goes to like the in-hand like delivery model that like Hastel Toy, well, Hastel still does pre-orders, but like, even if Power Town goes to like the in-hand, like shipping immediately thing, like we've seen Zombie do, Mitch has done it. Everybody's done it at this point, except Power Town. Do you honestly, is there anything they could offer you, even if you know it's in a warehouse getting ready to ship, is there anything they could offer you you would actually trust to give them money for?
No, at this point, no way.
I'm in the same boat. And I really wanted those Remcos. Like I had fucking, I saw the prototype pictures again and had a moment of like, do I want to reach out and just cancel my fucking dispute for that? Because those are the ones I actually want. And then I thought about it and I was like, no, that's like $280 fucking dollars of my money or $240 of my money that they've fucking had for 18 months now, and they've done nothing but spit in my face. Fuck them. And then I got my money back yesterday. It was great. And Magnum's like, oh, we're going to blow people's minds with what we're about to announce, but I don't want to say anything about that. I'm not trying to hype that until we get these figures out. And it's like, you're literally hyping it.
What's he about to announce bankruptcy?
I
You won't
don't think that
believe
would
it.
blow anybody's minds at this point. And then at one point, he's like, well, if you want a refund, contact Shopify. Do you know what Shopify is going to do? The same thing that Affirm did and tell me, or you, because they already told me, but they'll tell you because I got my shit back. They'll tell you you need to contact Powertown first. So, yeah, contact these people that are going to tell you to contact us, and then we won't reply. So you have to open up a fucking dispute that could take, I mean, literally 30 days was today for the 3 disputes that I opened. It took them a month to get all 3 done.
Mm,
But what's a month of waiting to get your money back when they've had your money for a fucking year and a half?
that's right.
It's ridiculous. And I watched a little of the majors thing, and they went so fucking soft on them.
I don't know
And
how
I
you could at
just,
this point.
because Myers is the fucking guy that did the TNA
Yeah,
deal.
yeah.
Cardona did mention like outright, there's like no chance that they have fucking TNA Series 2 in the like the works. And then he's like, do they even have Ultra Series 3 in the works? And I can't imagine you have anything in the works at this point. It would make no fucking sense to have anything in the works. Because like, who's fucking buying any of this shit? You know what I mean? Um, was there anything else with Powertown?
Oh, you were lost. I just got you back.
Oh, god damn it. It didn't even do the disconnect thing. Um, that's another thing. We need to look into like an alternate method of recording this until Discord figures their shit out. Where did I bloop out?
You were saying there's no chance that they even have Series 3?
Yeah. So like I would you have a series 3 in the works at this point? If you're them, obviously you think everybody's fucking stupid, but I don't know. I have no interest in buying like Remco Series 2, that doesn't even matter at this point.
I just got you back.
Oh my god. So like wait a minute, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? What is going on here? Okay, hold on one moment. Okay. Am I back? I'm guessing no. Hmm. Okay, what are we doing here?
I can hear you now.
God, okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what's going on with Discord. But yeah, I don't know if they would even have a Series 3 in the works. Who the fuck knows? What do you want to talk about next?
But I was just gonna say, like, TNA in the position that they're in, I'm sure they could get out of it pretty easily. But what else do we have going on? I mean, there's been so much stuff. UPW.
Oh, yeah, I didn't watch that video with audio on. Everybody says Sam sounds depressed and just kind of over it.
I felt sad. I hate to say that because I asked for new footage and we got it, but I mean, he talked about like how much he puts into it, and he's like basically like from waking up to going to sleep, just all UPW working on it. And I mean, he talked about like how it's taken a toll on him, and the reactions from social media of people were like not only saying that the game isn't real, but also tagging the wrestlers that are in it, being like, "Hey, is this an actual thing? Where is it? Yada yada." Um, so that's not fun to deal with. And also, while it's your passion project, to have it consume you and cause you so much stress, and and he's got a family, so he realized that he has to treat it like a job, and not let it consume him, which is good that he's recognized that, because I can imagine how horrible that can be. So yeah, I mean that's where it came from, just like his feeling sort of like defeated, I feel like, and listening to him. So that wasn't fun to listen to. Defeat is maybe the wrong word, because he obviously still wants to work on it and continue going, but like just having it consume him
Yeah.
like that was not fun. Um, so the footage itself, I mean, they showed the old engine, and it was the Hammerstein, not the Manhattan Center, and the Raw Arena, which I still think looks really really good. And I'm glad they showed the footage, because I feel like obviously it's past time. Um, we talked about how it looked like the gameplay was too slow, and then at the end of the video they showed the new engine, which they're sort of like bringing everything over into, and I didn't have a problem with that. I thought the speed on that looked fine. Um, so that gave me I was like, oh, okay, then this looks like it's fixed anyway. Uh, I'm trying to remember what was actually in the footage itself, because it's been a while since I've
There was
seen
a
it.
one-on-one match in the earlier footage, and I honestly kind of wish they didn't show the old engine, because I would have just done the whole video. And somebody's gonna be mad that I'm nitpicking, but like I would have just shown the new engine, or better yet, I would have shown like the showcase they did 2 years ago. Like, this is what it looked like. Here's what it looks like now.
Hmm.
Um, the second clip was like a battle royal with like I think 8, maybe 10 people on screen. And just from that clip, it looks like battle royals are going to be so much fun with the AI tripping over themselves to try to kill you. Um, as for like the bit about him realizing it was kind of becoming all consuming, it's good that he acknowledges that. But I also said it to you. I think I said it to someone else too. He's learning all of the shit Dave Wisnowski learned like 20 years ago. And I
Oh
don't
yeah.
mean to keep paralleling the two of them, but like this is you are very much in the 2005 part of the PWX journey here.
It.
Like,
I'm trying to think if it's worse, because like he's the only one working on it. Others, like, in total, like 2 or 3 people that make up the whole team, and it's like, is it worse when you're in everything yourself, as opposed to like directing people what to do?
I
I
mean,
mean, they're both.
probably because you're the one actually putting like the hands on everything. I
Yeah, I
would
mean, they're both
imagine you take it a
shitty
little more. But
situations.
Dave took PWX super personally. That was going to be his life's work. And I just checked the Facebook page. No updates in 6.5 months. I have no idea what's going on. I hope Dave's all right. Like, I fuck
Interesting.
PWX at this point. I just hope that dude's okay. Um, has he posted on Twitter at all?
Not that I've seen. No, I can check.
But like, I I say it every time there's an indie game that's super ambitious. I've done this dance before. A couple of people that saw the video brought it up to me like, I don't know what this game's actually going to look like when it comes out. If it does come out and it's like everything that's been promised, what's that going to look like? But like I said, everybody that saw it said the same stuff to me about like just how like depressing it was to listen to. And like we talked to fucking Gakdal about it. Like, these are not easy games to make, and he has like actual AAA dev experience.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine how overwhelming it would be to somebody that has programming knowledge but doesn't have the full context of what a full game development cycle is like. I can't fathom that. Um, I don't know. Uh, Tagging the wrestlers and being like, "Hey, is there an update on this?" That comes with the territory with the licensing wrestlers, because people still tag on Instagram like wrestlers that Zombie has signed that we've seen the prototypes of. And it happens with there was somebody that Epic had that I remember before I left Twitter. Somebody had tagged Epic. Oh, Vader. Like right after they announced Vader, it was like a month or so later. I want to say like people were tagging the fucking Vader account, like any updates on this. It's just what happens when you fucking license these guys, especially if they mention it on social media. People will just incorrectly assume that they have updates on the shit when they don't, because they're not actively involved with it.
Right.
And I don't know. Like again, I hope for the sake of everybody, because again, Kickstarter fucking booted me out of that campaign. I have no idea why. My debit card was just being stupid, I guess. I hope for the sake of everybody that's got money put into this, like that, the game comes out and it's good. But it's one of those things where like you get into something and you get in way, way, way over your head. I can imagine that's a little overwhelming and a little depressing.
Yeah. I mean, also the video game industry as a whole is just brutal right now, and it's just like I would not want to like navigate the waters of the industry. I can imagine like going to Gamescom and Gamescom and meeting with publishers and stuff, and I'm sure some of them, are receptive and stuff like that positively, but like when it comes to like an actual deal, like I don't know.
Yeah, the industry is in a very weird spot right now, and
It's in a shitty place, that's for sure.
yeah, I guess we could talk. There's a rumored PlayStation State of Play coming this week, which it seems like they typically do one right around uh, Tokyo Game Show, which does start Wednesday Eastern time, but Thursday in Japan. So the speculation is tomorrow, Monday, we'll get the announcement of the State of Play, and then it will air late Tuesday Eastern time, which would be early Wednesday in Japan. Have you heard any of the rumored stuff for it? Because if we get like half of it, it's going to be pretty wonderful.
Paul Roma and Paul Orndorff.
Oh yeah, no, Orndorff's one of the skins in the Wolverine game. You didn't hear about that?
Oh, that would be cool. I'd like to play as
right arm attacks do half damage.
Oh damn! God damn it! No, I haven't heard anything. Like because I don't really care to be honest. We'll have to talk about the Acclaim thing after this. But what games have been like rumored for it?
So the big one, I think, for everybody that pays attention is going to be Wolverine. The trailer is done. Tom Henderson from Insider Gaming has mentioned it could be at the State of Play. It could be at the Game Awards. People with keen memories will remember that the State of Play or Showcase, whatever it was, when they did it in September of 2021, was actually when Wolverine was announced.
Mm.
So there's a lot of people expecting that to be like the mic drop at the end. Metroidvania God of War, the trailer's been done since April or May. Allegedly, that's pretty much a lock from what everybody's saying. Mike Straw was on a live stream with Tom Henderson and somebody else from Insider Gaming, which by the way was fucking brutal. They had nothing to talk about. It was awful. But Mike Straw said he would put money down that his Reset Era has dubbed it God of Vania will be shown this week. That Saros game, which I think is being done by the developers of Returnal, people are expecting that to be shown. The Ghost of Yote launch trailer, because that game, and I don't even want to talk about all the bullshit surrounding that game. The launch trailer is expected to be shown this week. Apparently, Leon is being shown in Resident Evil Requiem this week at some point. That game is not expected to be part of the Capcom showcase, but I mean, it was literally revealed on the last State of Play that it's not out of the question that we see Leon Kennedy in Resident Evil Requiem this coming week. There's got to be some sort of Marvel Tokon deal, and I've seen speculation they'll do like a Wolverine reveal trailer into the Wolverine reveal trailer,
Makes sense.
just to kind of line up the two. Um, there's speculation that Yakuza Kiwami 2 came out in 2018. 3 might be revealed because it was leaked, and I guess the studio has a showcase of their own. I think the same day or the next day. Like if it's on Tuesday, I think the showcase is Wednesday. So if the PlayStation State of Play is on Wednesday, it would be the same day. Anyway, there's a lot of speculation that's going to be part of the State of Play. There's if like even half of this stuff shows up, it's like an all-timer State of Play. God of Vania is like the big one for me. It has been since June. The rumor of that game, plus like new prototype pictures of the third-party Kratos I pre-ordered last year, basically kicked me in the ass to finally beat the 5 main Greek Saga God of War games again, and in the case of 3, beat it for the first time. It's the one PlayStation series that I still have an attachment to that they even feel compelled to do anything with. So the fact that like that seems to be coming, and there's another mainline God of War game on the way, it's nice that that fucking series isn't dead. Because if they kill off God of War, what the hell do they have left?
They're doing a TV show as well, aren't they, on Amazon?
Yeah, I haven't heard a whole lot of encouraging things about that one. I remember the showrunner saying something like, well, we don't, something about like they'd not played the games and we don't need to be like super close to the games or something to that effect. And I was just like, oh, great.
That sounds like the Halo series or something like that.
Yeah, I watched like 2 episodes of that and I was just like, well, this fucking sucks.
I was okay with season 1. Like I'm not like a huge Halo fan, and I was like, it's all right. Like it wasn't great or anything. And then season 2, I just like fell off, and like after like the second episode.
Yeah, I liked Halo as a kid. Halo 3 was like the big one for me, which is I mean, I remember Halo like 2 being a really big deal when it came out as well.
Yep.
But yeah, that show did like absolutely nothing for me. Just yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
The Acclaim thing, I had the day off from work. Not that I requested it off for that; it was just happenstance. And well, where do you want to start?
Well,
There was
to
a
be
rumor
honest,
that apparently started on YouTube the day before that Acclaim might have done a deal with UPW, which didn't make any fucking sense. But like 3 people mentioned it to me, and I was like, that would be the funniest fucking outcome.
I mean, there's a few things to remember about this. So they did themselves no favors, because like even when the showcase started, they're like the past, and they're showing Mortal Kombat and like NBA Jam and stuff. And you would think people would know, but like I feel like there was an expectation from a lot of people that we would get a revival of like NBA Jam, or something related to Mortal Kombat, but like, or like it's something similar to NBA Jam or whatever. But like you've got to remember that they never owned those. They published them. Acclaim published them. Also, this isn't the same Acclaim, and this Acclaim is an independent studio. This isn't like a big money operation, huge thing, right? So what they showed was like pretty much what I expected. Like I wasn't expecting them to publish games that have been out for like 5 years, but like when they showed like all these like smaller games, and I think like the only 3D thing they showed was that SSX style game, right?
Yeah.
Um, but like everything else, I was like, yeah, knowing that they're an independent studio, like this is sort of what I expected. Um, but like I said, they did themselves no favors by like showing stuff the past, so people had much higher expectations, and they made it so like they're never going to deliver on those expectations that people had in their mind. I thought the basketball game, the basketball classic, which has been out since like 2019, I thought some of the references like Run DMC and stuff like that and Mega Man was pretty cool. But then when they showed the actual gameplay and it's like this 8-bit super wide basketball game, I was like, this isn't really something that I'm interested in. And I felt like that way for the whole thing, really. I mean, there was some cool stuff. Like I said, that I loved SSX Tricky back in the day. So same like a snowboarding game in the same vein, although it's not the same like art style.
It looks
Was
more like
cool.
Jet Set Radio in that
Yeah,
way.
yeah, exactly. So that was cool, and I don't think any of the games really looked bad or anything. It was just like, yeah, this is pretty much what I expected. They did show like between clips, they would show like these little things, and they had like an independent wrestling, like somebody doing like a dive off the top or something like that. And I was like, okay, well maybe that's gonna go somewhere. But no, there
That
wasn't any.
looked like ROH at the National Guard Armory in Philly, but I never went back to look at the clip and see if I could figure out who it was.
I think it was like something maybe older than that because it just looked like some dude that I've never seen before. Um, but yeah, I sort of thought like maybe there's something will come out of that. Maybe something still will. But for now, there's nothing wrestling related. So I mean, it is what it is. I like I said, it was pretty much what I expected. But the way they had sold the thing, people had much higher expectations. So it's like I saw like a lot of people were complaining on their in their Twitter comments, and they were like, "Thanks for watching. We're sorry that blah 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 blah, and we have many exciting games coming up, blah 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 blah." So they did it to themselves, really. You know,
And I think Jeff Jarrett's involvement might have pushed people towards thinking there was going to be some sort of a wrestling presence.
because why else would he be there? like, um,
Yeah,
like what is he gonna do? Is he gonna be like, "I've got some spare gold. You guys should like invest in this"? I mean, why else would he be there? It doesn't really make sense.
yeah. And also like the thing had like a 2:16 start time for the live feed, and then it was like a 15-minute countdown. I'm looking at it right now. The video on YouTube is 27 minutes. You have to go to 16 minutes in before you see anything gameplay wise.
Yeah, that was really dumb.
And then it's like barely over 10 fucking minutes. None of this looks super impressive. I'll say this on note of the basketball game, honestly, like it looked for how hard Acclaim was pushing nostalgia, this looked once you get to the gameplay way more like Tecmo NBA basketball than it did fucking NBA Jam.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
And was it you that sent me the fucking screenshot of the thing like, oh, there was no WWF attitude or Turok or whatever? Like, okay,
I,
well,
Yeah, it was somebody like you, like saying like we need WWF Attitude back and stuff, and it's like what the fuck?
okay, I have found the clip, I believe, of
Okay,
the professional wrestlers. Let me. Okay, YouTube, if you want to be a son of a bitch, that's fine, but okay. God help us if this is not the clip. I'm sure this is riveting audio. Yeah,
it's
the
like
first game they showed was like a rhythm game, and I didn't fucking give a shit about that.
that was a weird game to start off with because it's like visually there's not a lot. I mean, it's a rhythm game, but there wasn't. How do I put it? Like visually, it looked very plain. I felt
All right,
so.
playback speed. I am gonna go at like quarter speed on this.
I think he was a bigger guy with a mustache, but I might
Yeah, he was
be.
a bigger guy in like the Acclaim trainer singlet. It kind of looked like. Oh, hold on. Here's why I don't think it's older. This guy's wearing kick pads.
Oh, well, it could be mid-90s.
Maybe, but I find it incredibly hard to believe that nobody out there has fucking has figured this out yet.
I don't think anyone was
Um,
watching.
well, there's that too. Yeah. Okay, so it goes to like a cop chase, and then the clip of the. Okay. Uh, This might not be ROH at the fucking National Guard Armory, but it sure as shit looked like it initially. That could just be some like bullshit USWA clip too, for all I fucking know.
Yeah, I mean, it could be something that they just pulled off YouTube. It could be NWA Mountain State.
God, I wish. There was like a Metroidvania towards the end that looked kind of cool, but I didn't end up buying it because whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
But yeah,
I
what
thought
a
nothing really looked that bad. Like the basketball game was the thing that people were like really up in arms about because, again, they were expecting NBA Jam or something similar to that, and that's
and
definitely
Acclaim
not
did
it.
acquire the rights for NBA Jam in the '90s. That's why Midway after Tournament Edition it had to be like Showtime and Hang Time and Hoops and all that other shit. But like Acclaim lost the license when they went under. I think
Yeah,
EA has the trademark now, or had the trademark. Maybe 2K has it now. Who the fuck knows?
yeah, but either way, it's definitely not this current Acclaim. That's for sure.
And you know what? Speaking of nostalgia bait that is going to come in well under people's expectations, let's talk about arcade classics, WWE WrestleFest. Because
Yeah.
you had mentioned this to me, and then I had seen WCW Worldwide on Instagram point out in one of the pictures, you can clearly see the roadies on the side of the cabinet and the bezel.
Hmm.
And then on the very next picture, they're gone, and the bezel's completely different too. So it came out that Sergeant Slaughter and the Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal, whatever the fuck you want to call them, are not going to be in the upcoming Arcade Classics release of WWE WrestleFest because those guys are not currently under WWE Legends deals.
I don't think it's been
Which,
announced officially, but I mean, it very much seems that way.
I mean, they're not on the cabinet anymore. Like,
Right.
none of
Yeah.
them are. I don't think Sarge
Like,
is either.
well, like, what do you do then? Because like the tag mode is leading to that match against the Legion of Doom.
At first, I thought, like, well, maybe, redraw the guys like how they did with the plug and play Steel Cage Challenge. And then I thought about it and, like, no, because then you got to hire people to do a fucking new voiceover for the title match, like promo and everything. You have to do new logos for these guys. I thought maybe you do like generic guys in that spot, but I don't know. In like Superstars, if you take Savage out, there's going to be one guy that you fight like 3 times in each path in New York and Tokyo. You're going to see one guy in every fucking match because it can no longer be like this team, and then one guy from each team. It's going to be like this team, and then one guy you've already fought and one guy you've already fought twice.
Yeah, that was the first thing I thought of when with the talk regarding Slaughter and the Road Warriors. Like, is Savage going to be in Superstars? Because that really fucks things up there too. So I don't know. I'm very curious to see how this turns out.
And there's other games like the Big Pro Wrestling. The Full Size Machine has
Yeah.
another game. The smaller ones also have like Super Dodgeball. So this was clearly like they paid Technos for the licensing and then probably paid WWE for the licensing to get the games people actually recognize. With all due
Yeah.
respect. But I might have said this to you. If you couldn't have the entire WrestleFest roster, why would you not just license Mania the arcade game? Why wouldn't you just try to find whoever owns the rights to the Midway arcade games and just because fucking Arcade One Up did it with NBA Jam. You could have just done a WrestleMania the arcade game machine.
Yeah. I don't know. But it's so wild. Like I still can't get over like seeing WrestleFest with that the WWE style retro logo. It's just it hurts
So
my
World
brain.
Wrestling Entertainment on the mat too.
Yeah, it's like a brain fuck. Like, what is going on here?
There was a part of me because I saw the rumored MSRP for the bar top one was going to be like 190, 199.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know what? Because I think I've told the story on the podcast before. In the summer of '02, I was buying all of the Coliseum videos I could. Like the Hogan return had me really wanting to watch like what I called like LJN era WWF, which also was kind of Hasbro era WWF because a lot of the tapes I got were like 89, 90, 91.
Yep.
And I started looking up on eBay the price of arcade machines, and we found a Superstars machine that was like the value of it fluctuates in my brain, but I always go back to I think it was like $150. It was an hour and a half away from my house, local pickup only. And right around my birthday, every year is like a festival in my town. There's a parade, there's rides, there's this whole thing. And I remember sitting like through the whole parade, which I didn't want to go to, but I had to because they weren't going to leave 11-year-old me home by myself. And on the way back, asking my mom if I could click buy it now on the Superstars machine, and my mom just going, "Yeah, we're not doing that."
Mm.
It like that sucked. I mean, I also got emulators working on my computer like the same week, so it was like, this sucks a little less. But there's the part of me that just for like 11-year-old me wants to have like a WrestleFest cabinet in my
Yeah, I get
house.
it. Yeah.
Because WrestleFest was always the more like the board for WrestleFest, not even the cabinet. The board for WrestleFest, even back then, was like going for as much as some of the Superstars cabs were. So like WrestleFest was already like no chance. I'm never gonna own that. So like Superstars was the more attainable one, and also I'll admit WrestleFest is the better game. Superstars is also like 1988 WWF released in like 89, which is 89 might be my favorite year of wrestling ever. Just everybody was really good that year except the AWA. And so like I've always kind of skewed more towards that game. And they're both on the same cab, but like if Savage is gone, that's one of the guys I always played Warrior and Savage or Warrior and Bossman or Savage and Bossman. Literally never really touched the other half of the roster for most of my playthroughs. If Savage is gone, that sucks. I don't even know what the fuck WrestleFest looks like if you don't have the roadies.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like how far do you go in sort of editing the game? Because like, do you just take them out and
Do you
like,
hard code the game where Demolition are the fucking final two?
yeah, it's gonna be so strange.
Actually, here's another question I have. Are Demolition in the game? Because they didn't have Brian Adams under a deal until this year. And same
Yeah,
with
I
Jerry
mean,
Darso.
this is gonna be so weird. I can't wait to find out more information as to see what's actually gonna happen.
Are we going to get WrestleFest with like half the fucking roster? If that's the case, what's the fucking point?
Yeah, imagine if you just have like a few tag matches and you just get the credits and that's it.
God, that would be some really fucking. Hold on, I found a thing from Toy News International. Okay, Demolition are on the cab in the renders,
Okay.
and they're on the bezel. The Road Warriors are not. Sarge is not either. You have Hogan, Crush, Mr. Perfect, Earthquake, Ultimate Warrior, Smash, Jake Roberts, Big Boss Man, and Ted. It is so fucking. It's not even the WWE logo that does my head in on this. It's seeing World Wrestling Entertainment on the ring mat.
Yeah, it's fucked.
Okay, there's a
Really?
screenshot of Superstars, but it's not the full screen. And it's
No.
literally just Hogan with Warrior in a headlock and Blue Trunks Jim Duggan in the opposing court. Hold on. Okay, so the full screenshot, because it's right here, it's Hogan and Honky Tonk Man against Warrior and Duggan. That answers none of our questions about what the hell is included. It's so fucking. So the big cab is expected to be about 5, maybe 600, because that's around what arcade one-ups go for. I don't think I have it in me to pay that much. Honestly, the bar top one will probably be about where I tap out. And you know what? Regardless of which one of these I end up getting, if I get any of them, I got to make sure I'm home the day that fucking thing gets delivered. There is no chance my mom is getting that shit into the house.
There's also that very like small one they're doing, right?
The really tiny one, yeah. So I've worked at 2 different places that sold the Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat ones that are that size, and I have no idea how the fuck you're supposed to play those.
Yeah,
Like,
they seem kind of pointless.
what the fuck are we doing?
I guess maybe
Oh
it's just like
man.
a display thing, really.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, like the Pac-Man one, I kind of understand because you don't really need buttons for Pac-Man. But like, man, so there's a YouTuber that says there's a first retail listing. I'm not going to play the audio of the video. Hopefully, he doesn't just talk about it. Hopefully, there's a link in the description box. Apparently, these are releasing on October the 13th.
Okay, so not far away.
He also does not have a fucking link in the description.
Hopefully they release gameplay footage before that, though, right? I mean, I can see why they wouldn't, because it'd just be like, it's WrestleFest, you know what it looks like, but like, if there's significant changes, like, I want to see them.
Well, I kind of got my hopes up because this guy was showing. Okay, so in the UK, the bar top one is 189 pounds 99. I think that's how that said. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know.
I think
It's
sounds right.
189.99. I don't know what the fuck that's going to be in the maybe 249
God, I have no idea.
maybe. But on this retailer's website, the render of the fucking cabinet still has the Road Warriors on it.
I know, and that's what makes things so confusing, because there's ones that have it and ones that don't. So it's like, well, what's going on? Are you just using like the original art, or like have
Oh yeah, they
you?
are. This is the
Yeah,
original cab art.
but like, is this approved now, or is this like what is happening?
So I saw on Toy News International they had the picture, like the render that I just referenced, and then a picture of it in the box. In the in-box shot, did not have um the Road Warriors. Um, and I can't find the picture of it in the box now.
Was
Um,
there?
I oh, go on.
Just thinking about something else too. Is like, didn't like the cutscenes have like the Legion of Doom logo in them and shit? They would have to take that out too, right?
The
They
pre-match thing had like the Saturday Night's Main Event wrestler logos. The Legion of Doom promo was literally in front of the like LOD green screen.
Yeah, so if they were even in the game, they'd have to remove that stuff because they just call them the Road Warriors now.
Yeah, which I wonder what prompted that fucking change.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm looking at the box picture now. There's just a gap like in the render on the box where the Road Warriors used to be, and it's got the updated bezel and everything. Um,
I need someone to leak this shit. I need to know. I need to know now.
yeah, I'm I'm really curious. There's still like even with the missing characters, if the price is right, I could be easily swayed. Probably not on the full size ones though. Like honestly, like $600 is a lot of money.
Suddenly,
Like
Triple
a
H
lot of money.
was in WrestleFest and Superstars.
Jeez.
So you get rid of Randy Savage and you get Triple H.
I would be fucking furious. I would be absolutely just oh, I would be so heated. And I'm also curious what the quality of these things are going to be like because like arcade one-ups, they're either amazing and durable and sturdy and great, or they just fucking suck shit depending on like who you ask.
Yeah, yeah. You wouldn't
Which
want
is a
to
big part of oh go on.
get it sent to you and then fall apart as soon as you open it up.
Yeah, yeah, that would suck. Um oh god. So Retromania speaking, just to continue the theme,
Yeah,
Retromania
exactly.
dropped the DLC. I haven't bought it. I actually could very easily buy it right now, but I just haven't.
I haven't bought it. I watched the new Legacy stream, and they straight up like reference those promos I was talking about in WrestleFest of like the Warrior standing there with Ian Riccaboni. They even have like bad voiceovers for Hawk and Animal in one of the scenes. Doesn't sound anything like them, much like it didn't in WrestleFest, which was pretty funny. I mean, it seems all right. I don't know. I think the costume thing is cool, but like it just still feels like it's missing a lot to me. You know, I know it's supposed to be like an old school arcade game, but like it's a wrestling game, and I want more. You know, it's like I want a creator wrestler. I want more match types and stuff. Just can't help it. You know, um, Savage looked well done from what I've seen. Um, and the other ones like we'd seen for like a long time, Mr. Hughes and stuff. We had seen like the progress of him, and uh, Demolition looked cool, of course, because of Demolition. But like, yeah, it's the same game. I mean, there did seem to be like a bug where the AI wouldn't break up pins and the new Legacy stream. So I guess that's something that they're gonna release like a patch on like Monday or Tuesday or something.
Okay, so I found a YouTube video where the person reached out to Basic Fun, which is the name of the company that's putting these out.
Yep.
They did confirm the Road Warriors and Sergeant Slaughter are missing.
Oh,
The gameplay is still spot on. What I can share is that we didn't swap in a generic character, and yes, there is a proper final match.
huh.
What that means, I have no fucking idea. Like, what does a proper final match look like in this context?
So if they didn't swap in generic characters, are they going to be reusing two wrestlers already in the game for the final match, or they're just going to be adding two? Because that would be pretty
I
crazy.
would. I mean, I think if anybody was added, they'd be there on the artwork.
Yeah, you would think so.
And
But
also, like adding new characters, you have to
not
account for
easy.
all the frames of animation. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not like in WWE 12 when they did the Make Good DLC and they just reused the Kane model. Like they would have to literally redraw everything, and it's 34 years later. So like trying to match that art style, I can't imagine would go very well.
So I imagine
Even
they'll
if
just drop Demolition into the final match.
that or it'll be you in a mirror match against like Hogan and Warrior if you pick either of those guys or both of them.
Yeah.
I don't. Geez, I don't know. Um. Oh, we got a bunch of Mattel creations reveals also this week. We finally have the finalized prototype pictures of the Ultimate Edition Monday Night War Kurt Angle, and that's another example of why Magic Olmas is better than Bill McKenna. That Angle figure is great. Wish it wasn't the attire that it's in, but you know, double champion Kurt Angle with the forearm taped up. I've seen people saying that that's like the definitive version of Kurt Angle, and no, it's not. No, it isn't. It's not even the definitive version of Kurt from 2000.
What would be the
Um,
definitive version of Kurt Angle?
for like that particular line, like for the Monday Night War.
No, I just mean like in general.
Well, I mean, for me, the definitive version would be like the attire that he's in like the draft series figure, which I think was like No Mercy 01, or like No Way Out 01 or SummerSlam 01. There's a fucking theme here. King of the Ring 01. I don't know
Is
if he ever wore that King of the Ring gear on Monday Night Raw, but if you know what though, if he wore that gear on Monday Night Raw, it would have been after the war, so it wouldn't be eligible for the line.
there's a attire that he wore in 2001. I remember it being like blue, and then he had like the blue boots with the red on the front. And I always thought like that's kind of what I think about when I think of Kurt Angle from that time frame. I think
For
it
me,
might
like the definitive attires are like the two main ones he has in No Mercy, and then it's just like a bunch of them from 01.
yeah.
The blue boots was a cool look, though. The white boots was a cool look.
Yeah, I like the blue boots with the red front on them. And there's like a singlet he wore was like the US flag and it had like gold on the bottom or something. I remember that being pretty
Yeah, No
cool.
Mercy 01.
Yeah, yeah, that tie was really cool.
Yeah, there's in like they could have also just redone the old Ultimate with the new torso and a molded on singlet, and I would have been the happiest motherfucker in the world. Like, I, it's a cool figure. If I see it, I'll probably buy it. Maybe I don't know. Um, we also saw the final prototype pictures, and some people even have them in hand. The new Ultimate series with that Eddie Guerrero in the purple, and I watched the My Damn Toys review of it, and he's probably a nice guy in real life. He came off like a complete dumbass in that video. He held the new Eddie up to like the old Monday Night War Eddie and was like, "Oh, the torsos are slightly different," and it's like, no, they're not. The new figure is way like bigger because it's the Austin torso. In seeing the new one next to the Ruthless Aggression Ultimate they did with the Batista torso, I don't know how you can see that and be like, yeah, maybe Bill should go fucking design some DC figures or fucking He-Man or something. Jesus Christ. What the fuck are we doing? I had to go on the Ringside Collectibles Instagram because there was other stuff that got revealed, and I am not doing the best job of remembering things. It's been as established before we started recording. It's been a hell of a week.
I saw that Piper's Pit set.
Oh, that was another one of the reveals. Yeah, that's a great set. I already have the Ultimate Piper though.
Yeah, I was just I looked at it and I was like, that's cool because I went to like the Piper's Pit set at the Access one year and I was like, yeah, that'd be a cool thing just to have, considering like I've been in like a similar setup as to that. But I don't think I'd get it. It's probably too expensive for me.
It's $80 American.
Yeah.
We also saw the Defining Moments Yeet Hands Jey Uso and the dark match CM Punk. Totally not an actual ROH CM Punk figure or anything like that. It is very strange seeing this version of CM Punk in the Defining Moments packaging.
Yeah,
like
they've teased that for WWE 2K25 like a few months ago, so I don't know if it's going to be added as like my faction or whatever, but it would be really weird to see that on like as an official WWE product.
Like I could imagine this, like if they bought the TNA library because Punk did the leg drop off the top of the cage at the Asylum, or like if they had the ROH library, like in the worst possible timeline. This is something I maybe could see like, oh, okay, this is like, I think this might be the dog collar match gear with Raven. He wore this white multiple times, is I guess my point. But like, no, it's on the back of the box talking about a SmackDown match with the Legion of Doom, even though the picture of Punk is him walking out on the Raw stage, probably from the night before, because he did work both. We saw the Amazon exclusive Rumble 95 Shawn Michaels. These are in a black box instead of red, which, gotta be honest, looks way cooler. I appreciate that there's a new torso on Shawn. I also think it's the Muda torso, which they also just used on ECW CM Punk. I might be wrong on this.
I could see that.
He's got the motorcycle boots too, which, I'm glad that it took until 2025, and I think Magic Olmas designed this too, so there you fucking have it. I have no use for this figure. I watched the 95 Rumble as a very small child and was not happy that Shawn Michaels won it. 30 years later, I'm still not happy he won it. And that was like my runaway pick for the worst Royal Rumble ever. And then like fucking almost every year since 2012 that I would watch a Rumble. It's like, oh, there's a new one. Oh, look at that, there's a new one. And just the Target exclusive Halloween Havoc 97 Rey Mysterio figure. We have pictures of this. Looks cool. I'm tired of seeing this attire for Rey. Tired of seeing the same attire for Eddie. I think as a community, we all need to get the fuck over that match.
I agree.
It's a great match. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's the best WCW match ever. I don't even think it's the best match Eddie Guerrero ever had. It might be the best one-on-one match Rey has. I'd have to really think about it. But like, I'm looking at the picture of it in the box, right? There's so much empty fucking space. It's this figure, one set of hands, the cruiserweight belt, ripped mask head, and then like the mask that he had on like like the entrance mask that he had, and then there's like I don't even know what that other thing in the box is. It's like a it's the belt on his gear. Apparently, we needed that as like a removable
Oh,
piece.
that's weird.
I think that's what that is. Yeah, I actually don't know what the hell that is. If that's not like a belt that goes around his waist. Yeah, it is. Okay, well, there you have it. Um, this is going to be on $34 probably when it comes out. And I look, man, I like Rey Mysterio as a wrestler. I see no fucking reason to buy this. I mean, maybe if you had the Eddie and you did like a repaint where he's got like the white wrist tape or whatever, or you did like an arm swap, just
Yeah.
for the sake of having both of them. But yeah, this is an easy pass for me. Um, did you see the Rock and Rocky Maivia Superstars 2-pack?
Yeah, I did.
That's that Rocky Maivia figure looks cool. I would not buy the 2-pack to get it though.
No.
Oh, also I referenced the Eddie Guerrero earlier. The rest of that wave is Uncle Howdy, which okay, yeah, sure, and Tiffany Stratton. The Tiffany Stratton figure looks way better in the studio shots than it did at Comic Con. And honestly, in a couple of the studio shots, it still doesn't look great. I don't think I would buy this. In fact, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't buy it. Um, we saw the like official like studio shots for the Street Fighter Cross WWE figures. These are cool. Um, there's apparently a Rock variant where he's posed like basically like if you just flip him around. I guess there's variants for everybody like that.
Hmm.
So there's like left facing and right facing variants.
I just want the
Um,
Blanca.
yeah, Ultimate Blanca is really cool. And then there's like the screenshot on the back, which is like somebody took a Slam Masters screenshot. Actually, let me take a look at this real quick.
It is
We're
really
about
weird.
to, we're about to
I
investigate.
it's I don't think it's directly from like anything's from Slam Masters because the sprites are quite bigger than the
The
ring
sprites are
itself.
clearly Street Fighter, but like the ring looks like this weird hybrid of Slam Masters and Mania. I think the ring might be from Mania the arcade game, which makes me wonder where the fuck the rest of the sprites are from.
It is a very strange thing to look at because it is like I mean it's Street Fighter sprites which are essentially Slam Master sprites, and it's like these WWE guys, and it's just like a WWE ring, and it's just like another one of those things that like fucks with your brain. It's like this isn't a thing.
Yeah, looking at this more clearly, I don't know what that crowd is from. I'm almost convinced that's the Mania the arcade game ring though, if it is from anything. Uh what a strange partnership this is. I mean, it makes
Yeah, it's
sense
really
because
bizarre.
the fucking movie.
That that crowd might just be like an original crowd or something from Street Fighter.
Could honestly could be from Final Fight for all the fuck we know.
It could be, and I think the ones in front are just like things that they put together for the box. But yeah, how crazy that looks. That's really strange.
Oh, also, we got like the studio shots for the ringside exclusive Dudley Boys figure. And man, these are really good. I there's no other way to put it. Like I I think I sent it might have been you or it might have been Wrestling Figure News, but I sent somebody the comparison of the
Yeah,
original Rulers of the Ring Dudleys compared to these. And I had forgotten that they put the Dudley Boys text from the tie-dye shirt onto the camo shirt for Bubba.
that's
Like
right.
I completely forgotten about that. And it looks so like it's so Jax, right?
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but these figures look fucking fantastic. Each one has a head sculpt that's evocative of the original Jax one, which shows you what Magic Olmas was playing with as a kid, as like all of us that watch wrestling were. Um, soft goods shirt on Bubba, which I think we knew at Comic-Con. The packaging is basically done in the same style as the Steiners, the Usos, the Outsiders, where it's split the faces. It's like half of one guy's face, half of the other, with the team name down the middle. These look really good. If I get lucky enough and these show up at my Ollie's like the Outsiders did, I almost want to wait for them then, because I got the Outsiders for $30 yesterday. I saw the green attire Razor Ramon at 2 different Walmarts, and I paid less money for the Outsiders 2-pack than I would have for that Razor Ramon.
Crazy.
Yeah, and dude, that Nash figure is the best Nash ever. It's so fucking good. There's one head on that I think they are using on the curtain call Diesel. That head is like the most dead on like 96 Kevin Nash likeness we will ever see. It is so freaking good. And the Scott Hall's really good too. I just wish he didn't have the AJ Styles torso. Maybe Magic can do a Scott Hall in the Monday Night War line.
Remind me, what attire are they wearing in that set?
It's like Bash of the Beach 96, Hog Wild 96. I've seen people saying it's both.
Is that the one that we speculated with you would have if Nash would have like the original NWO logo on the back of his vest?
Yeah.
And did it? I can't remember if it did or it didn't.
It's like the NW and then like the O is around the globe.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's the original one. Yeah, that's cool.
And like, this is basically the gear that they're in at the Nitro Rants, if I remember correctly. Maybe Hall's not, but Nash is 100% in the Red Outsiders gear when they film those.
Definitely.
And I said it, I was walking around because my mom was the reason I was even in Ollie's yesterday. She was like, I got to find some stuff. And I was like, whatever, I'll go in. And I didn't expect to find anything. And I walked over to the table where, like, it's not even really a table. It's like just a big flat surface where, like, the new toys are. And I saw that Outsiders box, and I audibly went, God damn.
Yeah, I wish I could have found that. That attire is kind of crazy, too. Just, like, I remember watching Bash at the Beach live and just seeing, like, when you think about it, like, seeing, like, Diesel come out in, like, all red when his thing was, like, always all black and, like, you know, some, like, grey and whites here and there, but, like, all red attire and Hall with, like, the blood drips and stuff. It's just, like, you know, they're basically wearing the same gear as WWF, but also, like, so different. It was, like, sort of an ingenious attire change.
Yeah.
Like, all
and honestly, I like the Razor Ramon gear. I think the, like, NWO Scott Hall stuff looks so much cooler.
Yeah.
And, like, I think that Red Outsiders gear that Nash has in this figure is, like, way cooler than any of the Diesel singlets. And same thing with, different. Like, and, like, the NWO singlet top, like, the black version, and, like, even later when it says, like, Nash or whatever, like, that stuff all looks so fucking cool.
It was so lame when they got to WWE, and, like, all they're wearing is, like, Nash has, like, the NWO logo on his singlet, and Hall has it on his trunks, and it's just, like, it felt so lazy compared to what they were doing in WCW.
Yeah, but also, honestly, I don't blame them, given how that run worked out.
Yeah, but I did remember that Hall actually wore the red, the black and red in a match against The Rock, because, like, I completely forgot about that, and it was on SmackDown.
I have no memory of that.
Yep.
That's crazy. Oh, speaking of O2 NWO, I saw that box set at Walmart, like 2 different Walmarts yesterday, too. And I gotta tell you, buddy, it fucking sucks.
Yeah, no doubt.
Terrible. What else did I see? Oh, I saw Supreme John Moxley on clearance at Walmart for $22. And I paid full price for that figure and think it's really fucking good. If you're somebody that wants that John Moxley and you have a Walmart near you, there's a significant chance it's on clearance. And that figure, I'd argue that figure is worth the $40 I paid for. It's absolutely worth the 22 that I saw it for yesterday. It's a great figure. And speaking of Jazzwares AEW, someone on Reddit that has verified sources within AEW posted that the Jazzwares AEW deal is done. Now, you might recall we talked about a whole bunch of reveals that were shown during San Diego Comic-Con, which is not something you do if you expect to not have the license the following year.
Right.
That's something you only do if you expect and I've listened to the little bit of the interview with Wrestling Figure News, and I believe it's Daniel from Jazzwares. They seemed really excited about the prospects of continuing the line. So this feels maybe like it was on the AEW side. We've heard for years now that AEW and Jazzwares have had a bit of a tumultuous relationship. AEW not approving rosters and attires in a timely fashion. AEW being frustrated with, once those things were approved, how long Jazzwares took to get product out. I've heard from people that have talked to people on the AEW side, and this was like a year or two ago, that there was frustration with the Jazzwares side wanting to do certain characters over and over again. So if you were one of those people that celebrated when Chris Jericho stopped clogging up every other series, and you stopped having to deal with like a John Moxley that had like no real improvements over the previous one every few series, that was an AEW concern too. I know that there were talent that were very upset that their figures were canceled. Abaddon was one. And there was frustration on the AEW side too, because they wanted all of the talent to get figures. Jazzwares just started like truncating lines and changing stuff. There was a rumor at one point that they were just putting stuff into production without getting actual approval and then just being like, oops. I don't know if that's true, but it absolutely sounds like something they would have done just to get product out. It does not seem like the best relationship, especially the further you get from the initial announcement. Honestly, the further you get from Cody being in AEW, because it's clear that Jeremy Fedauer fucking loves that guy. And he loves Chris Jericho too. So do with that what you will. But this obviously led to a lot of speculation, right? Like I'm sure you looked in on Wrestling Figs, right?
I actually haven't.
Oh, thank God. Because one person told me, is hilarious. Like, oh, they lost their distribution to Walmart and Target. That's not something you lose. You don't lose your distribution. You lose your shelf space. You get kicked off the planogram. That's a very different thing. That doesn't mean you've lost distribution. That just means they're not ordering your shit anymore. A whole bunch of speculation. A friend of mine that used to talk with Magic regularly speculated that it would be Spin Master. I kind of landed on them too. We saw the prototypes from a pitch years ago to WWE, which I still think is the most accurate John Cena figure I've ever seen, both in terms of the body and the head sculpt. The articulation was not what it would need to be, but like we also don't know how old the Spin Master pitches were. But they're losing DC. I don't know what other licenses they could have, and let's be honest, it's not like the AEW license would be super expensive relative to even the small chunk of the DC license that Spin Master has. AEW would be cheaper than PlayStation as well, almost certainly. So Spin Master would be realistic. I saw Kyle Peterson. Somebody sent me something about, he mentioned, McFarlane could be an option, but Todd doesn't like wrestling, which is funny because I remember him doing those WWE statues like 12 years ago.
What do you think about like just like broadening the license? Like, what if like the LGN majors are like a test for something more open? Like, what if you have those and then you have like retros through like Epic or something or another company? What if you have like Zombie Sailor AEW figures and stuff like that? Do you think that would be something that could be an idea?
I was going to mention the Big Rubber guys actually, because it was very interesting that Jazzwares did not pitch a fit about that deal being done, given that they were making LJN style figures at one point. Obviously, they abandoned them. We only got, what was it, Cody and Darby. Britt Baker got. We got Punk too. The Britt Baker was the one that got canned. And so when there was no pushback against that, I kind of was like, that's interesting. I don't know. Them getting retros is so weird because, like, obviously Pro Wrestling Tees has the relationship with Zombie. They also apparently have a relationship with Figure Collections now. Figure Collections has shown an ability to get figures out very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Those Hardy pre-orders were solicited, in June? People have the retro ones now. The BCWs are due in, I guess, Monday, which means potentially by the end of the week I could have mine. And of all the mind fucks I'm going to endure this year, I think seeing officially licensed BCA style Hardy Boys might be the big one for me. Because I have a couple of sets of custom ones that I got in 2001. and like seeing the renders and stuff and like the production samples, it was like, fuck, somebody really did this. We actually like those are just a riff on the Austin and Rock or the Rock off the mat body, and like being sculpted by Beatty is such a crazy thing because it's a customizer from that era doing an officially licensed version of how people made customs in that era. It's just my brain. Yeah. I mean, them splitting the license up that way would be interesting because I don't know what the demand is for AEW retros, but there's still a demand for WWE ones, and AEW does have guys that fit their retro form factor well. Could do a clothesline body Hangman Page. Obviously, they could do Sting. They apparently still have a merchandising deal with Ric Flair, although two other retro companies have already made Ric Flair, so I probably wouldn't touch that. And actually, two of the retro companies that could make AEW retros are the two that made Ric Flair. So, oh Lord, yeah, it would be interesting. But like the 6-inch line, like who the fuck takes that if it's not Spin Master? Hasbro's not going to do it.
No.
McFarlane would be interesting because lost DC. AEW would be way cheaper.
Jada.
That would be my actual pick, just in terms of like price point and like functionality of the articulation and stuff.
Yep.
But they can't get the Street Fighter roster out in a timely fashion. I don't think they're going to be able. Like, I would have no problem with it, I guess. But like, do you think wrestling fans are going to be happy getting like 4 AEW figures a year, if that? No, I mean, that's an even slower release cadence than Jazzwares.
Yeah.
But they would be like, if they could somehow get shit done quicker at the same quality, they would be like number one with a bullet for me. Storm Arena does better shit, but Jada does really, really good shit. I need to order Storm Arena Ken and Ryu also today. I have the money to do it. I had to cancel my pre-order because for both of those because they emailed me like, hey, we're going to be processing this soon, and I'm like, fuck, I don't get paid till Thursday. Why did you email me this on Monday? Because I was so worried they were just going to fucking run my shit the next day, and I would have ended up paying import prices for those figures anyway. But Storm would be interesting, but they're not going to get stuff out in a timely fashion. It has to be like Spin Master or McFarlane at this point. Because no, actually, there's another one that got mentioned to me yesterday. What if Jax took the license?
What does Jax do now? Like Simpsons toys?
The Simpsons, they do Nintendo, they do Sega, and they're all pretty. I've seen the like Nintendo figures and the Simpsons ones. They're pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I have the Mario and Luigi.
Yeah, so like I could get behind the idea of Jax taking over the AEW license. It would be very interesting to see what they do, like body wise. And there was also speculation from Kyle Peterson, like maybe Ringside picks up the license, which like, no, they're not going to jeopardize the fucking working relationship with Mattel and WWE.
No, definitely not.
I couldn't see it. But it would be very interesting if Ringside bought the Jazzwares AEW molds.
Yeah.
I mean, Ringside has their own action figure line. Apparently the next name we're getting is going to be somebody who's like unexpected and kind of mind blowing. And that's like one of the nebulous things. Like, oh, go on.
No, I was just going to say I saw Zombie was teasing somebody that's a big deal as well.
Was he? I missed that.
Yep.
For a Pinnacle collection?
Let me check the message here. He said, and this was from Friday, he said, a crazy drop is happening in 2 weeks in stock, a legend we have never put up before.
Could that be Roadkill? Because he's technically never been offered.
I wouldn't consider that a crazy drop, but I don't know.
A legend they've never offered before. Well, he's never offered Savage, but I feel like he'd make a way way bigger deal about Macho Man being released finally. Yeah, I know that he's saying like the Pinnacle Collection Series 1 is shipping soon.
I hope.
Did we talk about New Jack?
We did a little bit, yeah.
Wait, so New Jack was revealed that long ago?
I feel like we talked about it. I'm pretty sure we did.
When the fuck did he post that New Jack picture?
Let's see. I don't even see it on here, to be honest.
Can you hear me? I just lost power.
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, so our power. So for everybody that wanted to hear my mom make a cameo on the podcast, hold on a brief moment. Hey, I don't know if you looked at the end of the street, but we're without power. Well, they're not up there now, but we are in here currently at the present time. Just thought you should know. And for everybody that's been asking for like a year now, there's my mom.
I don't think we could hear her anyway.
Oh, well, shit. But yeah, like I was looking up the zombie thing and then the power fucking blinked, so I don't. The stoplight at the end of the street's got power after blinking for a couple of seconds, so like. I don't know what the fuck's going on, man. It does kind of suck to not have the air conditioning. It's gonna get
that's
fucking
gross.
unbearable in here. Yeah, they're driving very slowly on Main Street, so I don't. Or what we consider Main Street, I should say. So I don't know. Oh, hold on, goddammit, the power is back, like WWE in 05. Hold on. Power's back. Very cool. Okay. Anyway,
Cool.
when was the New Jack teaser posted?
I don't even know. I couldn't find it. What did he? Did he send it as like to the?
It was on his Instagram like feed, like a regular IG post.
Okay. Heels and bases.
I mean, if you just go to his regular like Instagram page and scroll down a little bit, it's probably like right there.
Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, there it is. September 9th.
Okay, so we haven't recorded since that was posted.
Okay.
So yeah, Pinnacle Collection Series 2, New Jack was shown. The head sculpt is dead on. Like all of the head sculpts for the Pinnacle Collection figures have been like bang on, like right on the money. The figure doesn't have a molded on shirt, which tells me some sort of soft goods is probably coming.
Yeah,
I would like to see the Tupac shirt. I feel like Zombie's wheelhouse for ECW is really the 96 era. So like Tupac shirt would be ideal. We also know that like Zombie hasn't had like he's not batting 1,000 with the licensed shirts. He couldn't do the Melvin shirt for Raven, but we got, the Ministry shirt, which is cool too. I don't know what we would get if not that shirt, because that head sculpt is so clearly like 96, 97 New Jack, but he also just kind of looks the same for years too. I don't know.
Yeah, he could maybe just do like a New Jack design. Or did he wear like a No Limit Soldiers, like orange shirt?
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting directions. So we know Bad News Allen and New Jack are Series 2. Presumably One Man Gang is in that lineup too, because we saw the unpainted plastic prototype of him. I don't know who the hell the rest, like the last figure of Series 2 could be. He does say something in the post about like an extreme theme to Series 2 or something to that effect, which led myself and a couple of friends to speculate it was going to be bad news and then 3 ECW guys. I don't think it'll be that. But if we're getting 2 more ECW guys, you've got Mike Awesome, you've got Masato Tanaka. There you go. I would also accept Shane Douglas and Mike Awesome. I would accept, Raven in there too. Raven especially would be great because the one that Mitch showed looks really fat and kind of shitty.
I think if you've got Awesome, you have to have Tanaka in the same set.
Yeah, honestly, I would like to see him do, because NECA is such a big inspiration for that line, and same with Mythic Legions. Do like deluxe 2-packs. Do Awesome and Tanaka with like a table and a couple of chairs.
Yeah,
I'd pay the hundo for it easily. I'm also wondering now when the next time he's going to do a Sam Roberts video is, because he didn't do one for Comic-Con, right? Like, I'm not insane in saying that he didn't do one of those.
I don't believe so. Also, like, if you're doing Awesome, then you need to have a alternate Gladiator head.
Yeah. And I think if you do Awesome and you have the alternate Gladiator head, that automatically means it has to be the yellow font on the back of the trunks.
He did wear red sometimes, didn't he, with that? I mean, I think he probably did in All Japan.
I know in the Kobashi match, he doesn't have the face paint.
Right.
He might have the face paint when he goes back in like 03, though.
Yeah, but then he had his different hairstyle too. But I guess
whenever I think Gladiator, I think the yellow, but that doesn't mean anything.
I agree. It's just that I think people would be like, why does Mike Awesome have yellow font when it was always red? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the ECW figure had the yellow too.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah. Which I always thought was weird because when I got it, I was like, he doesn't have yellow on the back. Little did I know. He does at Heatwave in 98. But there's so many possibilities with the people he has signed, and I understand like tariffs and the general just global trade shit show that we've got going on is going to affect things. If he could actually get the body, like the molds for the bodies and stuff done, and get those Pinnacle Collection figures out in a reasonable amount of time, I would be so fucking happy.
Yeah,
because what we've seen already, like. We talked about it during the Comic-Con episode, but anybody that thinks that Coliseum Collection Bundy looks better than the Pinnacle Collection Bundy is just fucking lying to themselves. Anybody that thinks that Monday Night War Pillman looks better than the Zombie one is fucking lying to themselves.
Yeah.
And, I mean, whatever Ultimate Mattel Jarrett we were going to get that was going to be in the fucking bland-ass, like, white gear with the straps sculpted on, so no matter how you pose it, it's not going to look right. That figure wouldn't have ended up being nearly as good as what we're getting from Zombie. And like, Mattel's never going to do an Abby in general, and if they do, it's not going to have that level of effort or that level of quality. There's no way. Do we talk about the Epic Nasty Boys? It's been fucking forever. I don't remember what's been discussed and what hasn't.
I don't think we did.
Okay, well, Epic revealed a bunch of tag team sets. The Killer Bees, which that's not really a reveal. We knew those were coming. Those are okay. I don't really care. And then they showed off the Nasty Boys, which they teased. 2 different versions. If you're a mid-90s San Francisco Toymakers WCW kid, they got you covered. Because we got orange t-shirt Nasty Boys. And then for everybody else, there's also the black t-shirt Nasty Boys, which come with removable soft goods jackets. Those look incredible. That set in particular.
That's another 2 that should be a part of their Galoob line.
Yeah, because they were there in 90. Not for super long, but they were.
But also, you can get away with doing like the orange shirts, I feel.
Honestly, this is the goofball in me. I would do all 5 color variations from the San Francisco Toymakers line. Because there was the black, the orange, the green, the yellow, and then the little Polly Pocket type sets, they were in gray. And I don't know how the fuck they got that in 98, where like they were the ones with the outsiders instead of like literally anybody else. Well, we know how because Brian Knobs was friends with the guy from San Francisco Toy Makers.
I feel like with the Galoob lines is like a really an opportunity to just expand it into, you know, WCW throughout the years, as opposed to like just filling up that time period of wrestlers that didn't get their figures. Like to expand it and to have like guys from like 92 onward, I think is like a really cool thing to do.
I hope Vader is in that line.
Yeah, definitely. That's a
I'm
must.
curious
Right?
what. Yeah, I mean, if that line continued for like another year and a half, we would have had him.
Oh yeah.
Like, there's no question he would have been like in the hypothetical Series 3, which may have still been UK exclusive for all I fucking know. Like, Vader would have been one of the guys. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm curious what the retro of him is going to look like because the original picture was the WWF promo picture, but I can't stress this enough. I have zero fucking interest in WWF attire Vader figures anymore.
Well, I know it's going to be better than the Mattel retro, that's for sure.
Well, I could shit in my hand and take a picture of him. That'd be a better like retro Vader than the Mattel one. I'm not going to do that, but I'm saying I could. Just what a fucking low effort figure that was.
Yeah.
How do you do Vader and you don't just rip off the Earthquake body? It's like right there. The easiest fucking thing.
I mean, that's what customs were done with back in the day, right? It's so obvious.
Yeah. The bone crunching Vader head on the Earthquake body. It's the easiest. Yeah. It's the most like, how do you fuck this up retro you could ever do. One of my friends is telling me he saw Flavor Flav in concert last night, which is
oh shit,
a monumental occasion. Oh, also, because I promised I was going to do this like a month ago. Shout outs to my friend Steve from Toronto. He just got married recently. He's been a listener of the podcast since the beginning, I think. Shout outs to him. That's the homie. I say he just got married. That was a few months ago. That's how long ago it was. I promised to shout someone out on the show. God, what other news is there?
there's
go on.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say those Major Stars figures finally shipped, and I think they look really cool. And then I saw they were $35, and I don't think I want that Macho Man because it's awesome, but
they do look pretty cool, yeah.
And like Series 2, I care about the Jim Duggan. I don't care about Slaughter or Jordan Grace or Ethan Page. The Sabu, I mean, we've seen the rendering now of the big rubber guy Sabu and the Major Stars one, and I almost feel obligated to buy them because they're Sabu. I'm not buying the Joey Janela Sabu 2-pack though, because that's a fucking stupid idea.
Yeah.
What were you gonna mention?
Well, I was gonna go back to video games for a second.
Okay.
So WWE 2K25, we had the Attitude Era DLC pack released this week, which consists of the New Age Outlaws, D'Lo Brown, Victoria, who I wouldn't consider Attitude Era. I mean, she was one of the Godfather's hoes, but she wasn't Victoria back then. And Mark Henry, who is like the Hall of Pain Mark Henry, definitely not like Sexual Chocolate or Nation of Domination. So I feel like it's weird to call it Attitude Era, but whatever. It's an okay set. D'Lo, his moves look pretty good. The only thing is I feel like his face looks a bit too like puffed out. The Outlaws are pretty cool. They have an entrance with the Road Dogg doing like the full intro, and then hands a mic over to Billy Gunn for the 2 words for you, which is the best Outlaws entrance that's ever been in the game. The only problem is like if you edit their entrance, because they have an older entrance in there too. If you edit their entrance at all, you lose the audio for whatever reason. Like next time you see the entrance, the audio just doesn't happen. I feel like Billy Gunn doesn't look much like him. Road Dogg, I feel like is lacking detail. Also, he doesn't do the hump when he does the pump handle, which is disappointing. I don't think he's ever done that in any game. Um, the Victoria, it's okay. She doesn't. She has one of her like older themes or like newer themes, I guess you could say, instead of like tattoo or anything like that, which kind of sucks. Uh, and then Mark
Has the
Henry. I mean,
tattoo song been in a video game? I know there was like a rip off of it in one of the games.
I don't think it ever was. Yeah, there was the Jim Johnson ripoff, which I believe was first heard at like the Spike TV Video Game Awards. If you remember, they did like a little segment with Trish, Victoria. I think it was Jericho and Christian, like way, way back, and I think that's where that song first appeared. But no, I don't think the tattoo song has been in any games. I could be wrong though. But
Oh, gone.
they've released some new like manufactured stuff like the Trish Stratus 2003, and I guess there's files for Trish Stratus 2000, which is kind of weird because he was just a manager then. Um,
Something appropriate physics for that particular version of Trish. Something.
the
My
2003
God.
one does not look like her. Like it's a really bad attempt, and you're much better just like getting mods.
A
Um,
lot of the women's models that I've seen for this game look really, really bad.
some of them are okay, but yeah, some of them are kind of rough.
I saw it was on sale on Steam, and like I have the disposable income, but like, no, no.
Yeah, I mean
Uh,
the best thing now is obviously the mods, and like the amount of arenas you can get now is just wild. Like there's a guy called B4G who's made like WrestleManias from like 1 to 12 or 13, and like the USS Intrepid and like Nitro at Club La Vida, and just like all this crazy shit, and it's just like how the hell are they doing this stuff?
and
And
that's
this
just all really cool to look at. The problem for me is I'd still have to
when
play
you
it.
get to the actual game, yeah, I don't honestly, I do a lot more simming than I do actually playing the game. Um, the other thing in regards to video games, I put up a video on our YouTube channel of a game called Superhero Simulator. So I got a code
Oh,
from,
you know what?
yep.
We gotta talk about Takayama.
Okay, just one sec. Yeah. So I got a code for game.press. It was free for the game. You might want to check out that video. It's kind of crazy. The audio on it is from me is not great because I had to use an alternative method. But the video itself is fine and everything. And that is kind of a wild game. The flying in that game feels really fun and like sort of like just how you imagine it would for like a superhero game. Um, I go talk a lot of shit about the brother in that game because I hate him. Also, the way you die through buildings is like never forget. It's crazy. The video ends with like me being put excuse me excuse me out of the tutorial, and like 100 things happen at once. It's like you've got to find this child, you've got to put out this fire, you've got to catch these guys, you've got to save the person from drowning, and I fail on like every single one of them. Um, there's been like a lot of updates on that game since it was released, so I'll have to check that out and see what's improved. But it was interesting, that's for sure. But yeah, we haven't talked about the Takayama DLC.
Yeah, so the day of the most recent Takaya Mania show, I wake up to see shared by my homie Suplex Artist that there's a new Fire Pro DLC, and I see this while I'm laying in bed, and I think I'm fucking like still asleep. So I like sit up, and I'm like, the fuck? And I went on the Steam store, and there it was, just heaven sent. $6.99, I think. You get Yoshihiro Takayama with a new head. Like main eventer Takayama is attire one. Attire two is like fucking late UWFI Kingdom, early All Japan Takayama with the fucking ponytail and the grappling gloves. Which okay. Yeah, that rules. And I have to correct something that I said on our Fire Pro World episode because I mentioned that the World DLC Takayamas were just Returns Takayama.
Mm-hmm.
And no, they're not. The move sets are actually quite different. Stat wise, parameters wise, he's basically the same. But the move sets, both in terms of the moves themselves and the placements of some moves, totally fucking different. So I'm sorry for misrepresenting that. The new DLC it's quite different moveset wise from the previous one in that the favorite holds are different. He doesn't have the Spirit Punch Rush. The head is great. It's modeled in the style of the licensed DLCs. So if you were one of the people like me that didn't really like using Takayama alongside the other licensed characters, that's no longer an issue. You can just use the big guy.
It was wild.
And
The old head too, like putting them side by side.
yeah, it's such a it's so crazy. And there's multiple new rings, including the Pro Wrestling Emperor AWA logo ripoff, which is a new T-shirt that they've made,
I love it.
which I wanted to buy, and then the tariff bullshit happened, and it dawned on me that I would basically end up paying after shipping and the shipping agent fee, the shipping to me, and the tariff. I'd end up basically paying like 2.5 times what the shirt cost me.
Jeez.
And like I'd love to support the big guy. And I saw some people that bitched about the price of the DLC. And like my brother in Christ, the proceeds from this after the appropriate fees are taken out from the storefronts, the money goes to Takayama, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. If you're bitching about getting another new version of him in a couple of rings, like just go fuck yourself. Like the people that bitched about the second DLC where it was like T-shirt designs in a ring, like, well, they could have included Don Fry. No, they would have had to have spent money to license Don Fry, which means less money to give Takayama. Go fuck yourself.
One thing I forgot to mention for WWE is that they added Goldberg and Nikki Bella, which are exclusive to the island, which is complete bullshit. In regards to like the price of DLC, like I don't mind paying. Certainly don't mind paying that for Fire Pro, not just because it's like a charity thing, but like it's Fire Pro, so like
Yeah,
I feel fine with my money going towards that as opposed to like paying another game where I don't feel like it would be suitable. I feel like I want to support Fire Pro. I want to show that there's interest in it, so I have no problem with that. And I'd love if this led to more DLC, but it just seems to be like another Takayama specific thing, like the original one. So I'm not, holding out hope.
I wonder if it would have been possible to negotiate something with like the Takayama charity to where they could have had the 4 guys in the main event. That would have been really
Yeah.
cool if it would have been possible. Because, a new Fire Pro Cannon Kenta, a new Fire Pro Cannon Marufuji. We already had Suzuki, but fuck it. And same thing with Shibata, but like they could be different versions. And I don't think any of those guys would have bitched, especially if you told them like the money's going to Takayama.
I think Shibata would have been a tough one with AEW,
Mm,
but and then again maybe even Noah as well.
mm,
But would have
I
been a
don't
cool
know.
idea. I wish we'd get like Shinjiro Otani, like 01
Yes.
version and Junior. I think that'd be really cool.
I think one of the reasons we're getting the Takayama stuff is because there's like an established charity.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know if there is for Otani, which sucks.
No, yeah, I don't think there is, but yeah, it'd be cool.
I love Takashi Sugiura. He's a great wrestler. I still to this day just like, how the fuck do you do the German suplex into the corner with those turnbuckles?
Mm.
It's a flat pad. There's nowhere for you to go. Like and especially like a high angle one. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
Like, what a fucking shitty, undignified end to a career, and like a dude's life just completely upended because it's a 0-1 show. It doesn't matter if they're in like fucking Ryogoku or Korakuen. Why the fuck are you doing that move on a 0-1 show?
yeah.
Yeah, actually, now that I said that, I've just talked myself out of thinking Sugiura's a good wrestler. Holy shit, man. There was some wrestling yesterday. I
There
watched
was.
the AEW show.
I haven't watched it yet.
I heard about the Brock match at WrestlePalooza, and when my Powertown refund hit, I had a second where I was like, I want to see if I cared, if I actually could get to Indianapolis for this. I didn't even load up Ticketmaster because I was like, fuck cares.
I like. There was a fan, like in the middle of the screen, that had a sign that said, "He shouldn't be here," and we all know why. Why they paid like $3,000 for those seats.
I didn't see that. I heard the Cena Brock match was all finisher spamming. Brock Lesnar looks like he's on the kind of shit that you take if your heart's about to explode in fucking 3 days. So, bookmark this post, I guess.
Yeah, I heard it was pretty bad.
I saw the pictures, like the promo pictures of him, and it's like he's twice as big as he was the last time he was around. And like Brock was never a guy that was ripped, like ever, and he's twice as big and he's ripped.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, buddy, you're on some fucking real high end designer shit, huh?
I saw.
What are the odds they try to grandfather him onto the fucking White House card for the UFC?
Jesus Christ, I don't even want to think about it. There was a post that came up on my Twitter. It's like, holy shit, Cena is coming out with kids. I was just like, I'm blocking this account. Why are you holy shitting kids coming out on the stage? Shut the fuck up. But yeah, I heard the match itself was pretty bad.
Yeah, I heard it was just finisher spam shit, which like you think about it, that's been John Cena matches for like a decade. I don't know why anybody, and also Brock matches too after a certain point.
Yeah.
I didn't care enough to watch any of it. I had the money obviously to even do the $30 sub for ESPN, and I was just like, I'd have to look at myself in the mirror. So fuck this.
The only thing I was really interested in was Stephanie Vaquer and EO, which I'm sure was really good. But I don't want to watch WWE.
Yeah, I did watch all of All Out. I watched the Tailgate Brawl instead of 0 Hour because why the fuck would you watch the 0 Hour? There's actual matches happening on TNT and HBO Max. The Tailgate Brawl was cool. It reminded me of how like WCW would do like a live main event for pay-per-views.
Yeah, those were always cool.
Point. Yeah. The women's match had a lot of real weird, like just miscommunication, mistiming issues. That was like the 8-woman tornado tag deal.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it wasn't very good, but it really wasn't very good. Shibata and Garcia was good. I don't think we really needed the frat house making it to TNT. I'm not advocating for people to lose their jobs, but like Griff Garrison and Preston Vance they're both in like worse spots than they were 4 years ago.
Yeah.
At this point, like just goddamn. The main card was interesting because I knew what they were doing. They were going to purposely run long to go head to head with the WWE show, and they sure did. They went head to head with the first hour of WrestlePalooza. And I'll take everything in order. Cope and Christian versus FTR. Wikipedia says 18 minutes. That match felt way longer than that. One of the things on the show where there were a couple of matches where like a bunch of shit got kicked out of, and I could kind of feel the crowd getting a little drained by it. This was one of those matches. Beth Phoenix came out afterwards and ate a spike pile driver. Christian ate a spike pile driver. Edge was handcuffed during the whole thing. I could not possibly care less. Eddie Kingston beat Test. It was a match. I don't know what the finish was because I sneezed. I'm assuming it was the back fist.
He gave him a back fist on his while Big Bill was on his knees, and it looked really, really bad. Like he
Mark Briscoe. Oh, go on.
I don't know if he completely missed it, but it looked just not good.
Mark Briscoe beat MJF in the tables and tax match. This was really good. Max is like the most frustrating wrestler in the world because sometimes he just does good shit, and then there's like the other 95% of the time.
I heard the Mystico match was excellent.
It was very good. We got the blood ban lifted in Arena Mexico for one night, and Mystico hit a gusher. The Ricochet group beat the Hurt Syndicate. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really had to take a shit, and this was the match where I did it.
Mm.
So I didn't. I know that Ricochet and his guys won. I don't know how. I was in the process of shitting. We had Mercedes Moné and Riho. This was another one of those matches where like it probably went like slightly too long. It was good. I don't like the thing that they do with Riho and Yuka Sakazaki where they're
They
just
have
gone
one
forever.
match.
They pop up. Yeah,
Yeah,
they pop up. There's a TV match, and then they lose, and you don't ever fucking see or hear from them again.
it's frustrating.
Yeah. I understand like travel and visas and stuff can be an issue,
I
but
think
if you're gonna have
Yuka.
somebody come in to challenge for a title, like if it's somebody that has to come in from Japan, bring them over for like 3 fucking months, so there's at least a
Yeah,
little bit of like the outcome being in doubt.
yeah. Well, Yuka lives in the U.S. now, right? With Takeshita. So, I mean, you'd think she'd be used more, but yeah,
She's
I
in
don't get
the
it.
pure title tournament in ROH, I think.
Oh,
Um,
that's good, I guess.
Okada beat Takeshita and Mascara Dorada. This match did go too long. It was good, but it was very interesting that this match was like 60% a showcase for a guy that doesn't work in AEW, and Okada and Takeshita just bumping their asses off for him. Again, very good match. Obviously, Dorada ate the pin. We're probably getting. I don't know when Takeshita is challenging Zack Sabre Jr., but when that business is done, we're probably getting Okada and Takeshita in a singles match, and that'll probably be good.
Yeah.
John Moxley and Darby Allin in the coffin match. This was really bloody. They did the deal where like Moxley gets stabbed repeatedly and just gushes. Darby did some shit to his ear.
Ooh.
This was good. The Death Riders came out. Moxley sent them to the back, and then fucking Wade Barrett, Pac showed up. Awesome bomb Darby over the top, like onto the one of the caskets outside the ring, and then put Darby in the body bag. Moxley won, which was a complete fucking WWE finish. So we've looped back around from like the Moxley stuff actually getting good again to oh boy, we're doing this again. And you know, Pac is back for a few weeks until he disappears for 6 months. I whatever. There's a segment later in the show where Darby, you know, got out of the body bag somehow and put Moxley in it and set it on fire. So we're not done. We're not done. Um, good lord. Chris Statlander won the women's title. She pinned Tony Storm to do it. Match was fine. It didn't go super long, like 12 minutes. It was fine. Uh, Curious to see what they do with Statlander. Because she's so much better now than she was when she showed up, and she's so much better now than even when she came back. Like what was it 2 years ago when she beat Jade Cargill? Like she's fucking tremendous.
It's
And
interesting because well, I didn't see it, but I heard that there was sort of like a not going back to her original card of like the alien thing, but like more of like a reference, I guess, in like attire and music and stuff. And
yeah,
it's
the
interesting.
gear and the music seemed a little bit off, given or not off, but a little bit more like what she used to be than
Yeah.
what she
So
had been.
it's interesting that and something else that you're gonna talk about that they're sort of going. What's funny thing to say it like nostalgia for AEW, but I don't know what else to use.
Speaking of, uh, Brodito retained the tag belts in a 4-way ladder match, and I had thought for the entirety of this match that this was where Jack Perry was going to return. I mentioned it on the All In recap that we did that it was a recurring joke the entire night once Jack Perry didn't fucking come back that we all just it was mostly me but my friends were getting in on like oh the scapegoat's coming back bro. He came back after the match, went after the Bucks set him up for the gimmick. Lights go out, we get a VTR of Luchasaurus in like a hospital room that's lit like it's from the Saw movies. Then the lights come back on, and he helps Jack Perry out, and he has like the kill switch belt, and it gets thrown into the crowd, and they play the Baltimore song. Crowd goes fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And it's also funny because this was the building 2 years ago where Jack Perry turned heel.
Yeah, it was weird watching it because I did see that part, and it was like it's just like Jack Perry's character. He changed so much as a character, right? And now he's going back with Luchasaurus, and you've got Baltimore Tarzan Boy back as his theme. So what is his character going to be now? Is he just going to be like same old Jungle Boy, or is there going to be something else to it? Um, I'm kind of interested in that part of it, and I figured that they were going to put them back together because the skit they originally showed him Luchasaurus in like the hospital bed like when he first came back, and it was someone that was injecting him and whatever. And you didn't get to see who it was, but a lot of people, I think everyone speculated it was Jack Perry anyway. So like, yeah, I'm curious as to see where they go from here. Obviously, they're going to wrestle the Young Bucks. But yeah, I want to
Probably
see.
a Wrestle Dream too.
Yeah, is he gonna bring back like the Tarzan boots and shit? Like, what is he gonna do? Is he just gonna keep wearing jeans and shit? I don't know. We'll see.
It's interesting because I think this was kind of where he needed to be, especially now that like all of the Punk stuff, like they've outrun the shadow of it.
Yeah,
Like as
is
a,
he gonna
as a
put like?
company, AEW has outrun all of that. I don't want him to be called Jungle Boy Jack Perry again. I think he can be Jack Perry just with the old theme.
Yeah,
But like, yeah, I don't know what his gear is going to look like. I hope to God they don't bring Marco Stunt back, although I think he's retired. So God
yeah.
bless.
I do think they need to do something with his bus and make it look like something out of Jumanji or something.
Well, we don't know if he's going to have the bus anymore or the
Well,
Wonder Bread truck, whatever the fuck that thing
he
was.
he pulled the casket with the bus, so I hope he hasn't sold it.
Well, he might have. I mean, that video was presumably done quite a
Yeah, he
while
could have
ago.
sold it to Sweet Tooth or something. Samoa Joe.
God bless. And then we had the main, which Hangman Page beat Kyle Fletcher. A year ago, I thought Kyle Fletcher was terrible. Things really clicked, like literally right after the Full Gear match, and he's been on a fucking tear for the last year now, almost.
Yeah,
And watching that match, I was like, he might be the best wrestler in the world. He's fucking incredible. Great match with Hangman. They went, according to Wikipedia, about 38 minutes. Again, this cut into the first hour of WrestlePalooza, and I was kind of expecting they were going to shoot an angle, um, just to kind of have something noteworthy at the end. Not
hmm
not that Hangman beating the TNT champion isn't noteworthy, but I felt like they were. This was maybe where you do like some sort of an angle, like a hook, not that
yeah.
hook, Wednesday night, and also to kind of maybe steer some of the conversation away from what WWE was doing. They didn't, but that's also fine. Like having a better match than anything WWE is capable of producing as they try to counter program you. That's a big enough story, honestly.
It might have been better instead of having Big Bill versus Eddie Kingston, like, have the Callis family attack Hangman, and that's where Eddie Kingston returns, maybe.
Yeah, I also read that the reason they outwardly announced Eddie's return was to generate some buzz because people had been asking about him recently, and there were the videos of him with Cesar Bononi
Yeah.
talking about his return and his recovery and stuff. So, like, honestly, you know where the best point on that card would have been for Eddie Kingston to return? How about when none of the fucking baby faces came out to help Darby Allin?
Yeah. Yeah.
As Danielson on commentary is like Darby's helped so many people here in AEW. I just can't believe that nobody here would come out to help Darby. Because Brian, I guess on TV, because I fell asleep during the TV on Wednesday because I was just exhausted. I guess Brian promised he wouldn't get involved. And
Yeah.
during the match, he doesn't really like. He just like, oh hey, look, there's a bag under the table, and Darby opens this AEW bag, and it's a plastic bag, and I guess ending everything at Wrestle Dream, where the whole thing It didn't start at Wrestle Dream. It started at All Out. But Wrestle Dream, where like the Danielson like title change happened with Moxley, that makes a lot of sense. It also doesn't feel like we're anywhere closer to the Death Riders thing ending because they just got a new member and Pac just came back.
Yeah.
But if you notice, they're now at 5 members. Sure, we can find 5 people to be opposite the Death Riders in a scenario where there's 2 rings and a cage. Because I find it very hard to fucking believe at this point we're not getting blood and guts.
I think so.
Yeah, probably. Which is I kind of hate that because they just did the big cage match and there's nothing they can do in a blood and guts match that's going to be better or like equivalent.
You know, if like Darby's gonna set Moxley on fire, maybe they should try an exploding barbed wire death match again.
Yeah, but the next pay-per-view's in Missouri, which has like it might not be anymore, but I remember hearing Missouri's got like a really strict athletic commission with what you can and can't do.
I don't know if you can really anywhere would really allow that sort of thing in front of a crowd. Maybe I'm wrong. Because
I mean, it's basically just a pyrotechnic display.
True, but it's like I don't know. I feel like they'd be weird about something like that with the the closeness to the fans. I don't know.
That's why you do what they did in FMW and fucking have them way back.
Yeah, exactly. But I just don't see them doing that. I think they would probably need like an outdoor setting, but I don't know if they. I feel like they would do like an empty arena match if they were going to do that again. You know what I mean? Which is not a great idea to do an empty arena match, but I don't know. I don't know how they would do it.
Tony's mentioned wanting to do another one because the first one drew really well, and
maybe you do it in a cage, and you have the explosions on the ropes, but not necessarily like a time bomb.
Yeah, could be. I mean, a regular barbed wire match would be fine at this point.
Yeah, I just like
also
explosions.
something I noticed a lot of fuck being said last night on that show.
I can see that.
Like it was like somebody heard the words or the letters HBO and was like, "Stay no more." But yeah, it was a very good show. I think my problem with the last 2 AEW pay-per-views is nothing, like literally nothing's as good as All in Texas was. That was like unbelievably satisfying show. 3 incredible matches at the top of the card. But yeah, doing the we're gonna run long to fuck with you because you fucked with us thing, that's great. I don't need a 5-hour pay-per-view from anybody unless it's a big stadium show. And I don't think this show needed that, but I understand why they did it. And Tony got asked again about doing like afternoon pay-per-views and like, motherfucker, do it. There was the report about them thinking about running multiple shows in one day to try to counter program AEW. And unless you're going to do 2 like high-end like main roster shows on the same day, that's not going to work.
What do you think the announcement is on Wednesday?
I have no clue. Maybe blood and guts, maybe barbed wire match, maybe. I mean, because we haven't had that gimmick brought out in a long time, right? The Tony Khan's major announcement.
Yeah,
it's been a hot minute. Fuck, it could be anything.
I mean, I've seen people speculating women's tag titles, but that's been talked about for a while now.
Yeah. Yeah, and also we're getting to the point where it feels like we just have too many titles in general.
True, but I do feel like the women could use the tag title,
Agreed, especially because they have the Tekla group. It's just after a certain point, I remember people when I first got on the internet in 2000 saying like the WWF had way too many titles, and I remember thinking like, well, they only have 8, and now it's like 8 might be too many. But I also think there should be parity between the men's and the women's titles, although I don't think we need a women's trios title. I really don't think we need that.
No.
And I know people want a women's Continental Classic. I think when everybody is healthy, we should probably figure out some point in the schedule for one. I don't think you run the men's and women's ones together because it's going to strangle the TV. You won't be able to progress anything because it kind
Yeah,
of
it's
happens
too
anyway.
much.
Yeah, I see no reason you can't run the women's one like right after World's End to do the finals at Revolution.
Yeah, that would work.
Because there's that whole like first 2 months of the year that they just build to Revolution, and that would give you an excuse to have multiple women's matches on one show.
Yep.
Now I don't know what what the end like. Maybe it's the you win the tournament, you get a title shot at Dynasty. That would be cool. Um, but it's something they should do because why the fuck not? Um, I saw somebody mentioning to me that like, well, they've confirmed WWE 2K26 because it's coming out at the end of the next fiscal year. Like, no shit,
Of course, yeah.
they extended the fucking deal. That is a thing that is going to keep happening until the fucking end of time at this point. I genuinely don't think they're going to get away from 2K. I don't
No,
want to
I
say
don't.
like ever, but who would they go to?
Yeah, I don't see it happening. Excuse me, unless like TKO really wants WWE and UFC under the same banner, like video game wise, and then they go with like EA maybe. But they're in such a place of 2K that they don't have to take time to develop a new engine. They should, but obviously don't care about it. They can churn these games out every year, and that's what they want, right? That's what all these sports corporations want. So they're in that, and their games are, I guess, still selling well, right? So why would you change it if it's not demanded?
I am curious though, because Pat Gilmore during his AMA on Reddit way back in like 2021 was asked about the potential of the WWE games moving to a live service model.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how far away we are from that being like viable because NBA 2K is essentially a live service game. Granted, it's still a yearly release for now, but like how long until the sports games turn over into being like the yearly live service fucking shit shows?
I mean,
Or do they? Because like we're moving away from it.
I mean, they're already like sort of there, right? In some ways, like you just said with NBA, and like you've got shit with WWE, like all the fucking microtransactions with like my faction and the island and all that bullshit. I mean, like I said with Goldberg and Nikki Bella, we're at a point now that you can't get those characters unless you have the island. Like you can't get them on PC or anything. Of course, you can just get mods, but you know what I mean. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the way things are, they'll probably just keep going down that same road. Same with my faction as well. I don't know anyone that actually plays it, but I assume they're making something from it if they're continuing it every year, right? So it needs obviously the whole thing needs a kick in the ass, but if they're making money and WWE's happy and 2K's happy, then we're not going to get it.
I am curious, like the the Mike Straw article from a couple of years ago when it was like, oh, the WWE held a meeting with EA. What the fuck does that game even look like if it comes out? And like, who does EA task with developing it? Because your Fight Night UFC team can't be the ones you task with it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, it's obviously going to be someone that's a team that's never developed a wrestling game before because I mean, I suppose maybe they could go with Ukes, right?
Yeah, but at the time of that article, Ukes was with AEW.
Right, right, right. Other than that, yeah, I don't know. It'd be, as I said, some team that's never had that experience before.
EA gets on the phone to Spike Chunsoft.
Oh God, yeah.
Hey, do you guys want a $70 million budget? Let's see what you guys can do. I still think, honestly, I get that they have their framework that they want to run with. If I was somebody that had Tony's ear, I'd be like, just fucking follow Matsumoto on Twitter and be like, what would $40 million get me exactly? Because I know what it got me last time. What would 40 million get me from you guys? Because
Well, it'll be interesting because I know Kenny was talking about meeting like I don't know if it was the director of Like a Dragon, but he talked about we had a meeting that only the two of us, secret thing that only the two of us can talk about or whatever. So I guess he's probably I know he was in a card in Ishin because I just started playing that. Um, so I don't know if he'll have like a little role in the next one, but
probably.
they need to get the AEW branding out there because why is he in these games without like just as Kenny Omega? You know what I mean? It's like I don't think there's any mention of AEW when he's been in these games, or even like the Street Fighter commercial. Like you're working with Capcom, and there's no sort of mention of AEW itself. Like as a representative of that company, he should be talking about AEW in some way, or like the logo should be there or something, right? It's kind of strange in that way. It'd be like if I don't know, uh, someone from WWE appeared in something else without the WWE mention. I guess Zelina Vega was like that with Street Fighter, but she's not like a top star or anything. But yeah, I don't know. Like, it's very bizarre that Kenny has like all these connections to the video game industry, and like when it comes to AEW itself, like nothing's being done.
Well, there were discussions about how they were going to proceed. Tony had the quote recently, like he doesn't know what the future of the games are, which is wild because there were people in the company that were like, no, no, there's discussions, there's movement, and at this point, my wish list for the next game is first order of business: call fucking Sanders Keel or Corey Ledesma. In the latter of which, I think I've even said that same thing before on the show. I never thought I would have wanted Corey Ledesma back in the fold, but like he was able to keep Ukes on budget and on target, and
Yeah,
also he had some shitty fucking ideas, but he didn't have mini games in a Fortnite fucking battle royal mode. His shitty ideas were all gameplay related. Imagine that.
I think one of the problems is the idea that the Japanese games were so advanced and so much better that when it comes to developing a new game, they don't really look towards like the American talent that was involved in those projects. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
It's like
We
we're
have Washita. We don't need Sanders Keel.
right, we're just crediting the Japanese team that developed the game. We don't think about the involvement of other people.
And that's a great point because we've talked about the Western side strangling games.
Yeah.
It fucking swings both ways. All of the
Hmm.
games we got that were good were still Ukes and Aki being given, they were given enough rope to make something great, but the direction still came from the people that commissioned them.
Exactly.
And I think, you know what, that's probably part of the reason they fucked Brian Williams out too. Like,
Yeah.
I've heard they were not particularly, like, certain people in AEW games were not particularly trusting of Brian Williams and his ideas and his suggestions. And if you look at the fact that, what was it, 5 months before Fight Forever came out, it came out that he was leaving Ukes. It might have even been before that, but he left Ukes and was like immediately on WWE 2K23.
Yeah.
And I mean, 2K24's got a lot of shit from Fight Forever in it.
Yep, sure it does.
So somebody decided to listen to that guy's fucking suggestions. And I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say for sure that it was Nick Sobek, but Nick Sobek is the fucking head of AEW games or whatever's left of it. Kenny was involved, but like not nearly as much of the everything still had to come down to like Nick Sobek because he was the one signing off on like budget and shit. Is the way it was explained to me.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny told Nick Sobek what he wanted. Nick Sobek told Ukes that they didn't know what the fuck they were doing, and this is what we need to do.
Yeah.
Basically,
Imagine saying that to Ukes, who's developed wrestling games since fucking what 1990.
or because Tokon comes out in '95.
Yeah, which again, talking about Acclaim, it's not necessarily the same people that were there then, but like the knowledge has obviously been passed down, and they still develop wrestling games at company to this, until Fight Forever. So telling them what to do, like, okay,
Yeah, and there's been conflicting stuff about how antagonistic Kenny's relationship with Ukes was because he really wanted the game to be good. And that's why the Sean Ross Sapp thing came out of like the AEW side felt Ukes were trying to take advantage of Kenny, which is probably why Kenny stopped doing interviews about the game forever. And that's probably also around the time things shifted more to like the bad things you would hear would be about like Nick Sobek.
Mm-hmm.
And also the Cody podcast from right after the announcement, he basically says it flat out like Nick Sobek doesn't trust anybody, even me, and I'm an EVP. So like I could 100% buy that Nick Sobek fucking talked to everybody from the youth side like they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Or like, no, we know you guys can make good games, but this game needs to have this because our research shows that this is what's popular. But it's not popular with wrestling gamers.
Nope.
Fuck. And, there was like, we might have even been doing the show by this point, but like, I remember it just being really weird that for months before Brian Williams left, there was like, he wouldn't reply to people about the AEW game anymore. And for whatever the next game is, you should not have anybody that was involved on the AEW side that isn't named fucking Iwashita involved with that game. And here was something I was thinking about yesterday on like while I was just in the car. Aubrey Edwards had experience shipping actual fucking console games like Scribblenauts. Why the fuck was she not brought in? She could have been in the Sanders Keel spot. There were the interviews with her in like 2021 that she picked up an N64 with those games to like get a feel for what the games were like and why they were so popular.
Mm-hmm.
Because she expected she was going to be brought in. How did you not fucking put her over? She might have actually been able to mitigate some of the damage.
You're gonna write a book about this one day.
Yeah, it would be nice to get people on the record because everything I have is like all off the record bullshit. But like, I'd love to sit down and talk to Brian Williams about Fight Forever. I'm sure there's probably an NDA.
Yeah.
I'd love to get the people I talked to from THQ Nordic on the record too, because especially the one that told me Samoa Joe wasn't coming the literal day they fucking announced he was. Like that was great. Really showed you that the left hand really had a fucking clue what the right hand was doing with THQ Nordic. But what do you expect from Embracer Group? But yeah, like and there's obviously we've talked about the speculation of Acclaim being involved. I don't think there's a snowball shot in hell. I genuinely do not think there is a shot in hell that Acclaim is getting any licensed wrestling game. We talked about it. You saw what the fucking games on that showcase looked like. There was like, their budgets were like nothing. What could Acclaim contribute? Tony would have to fucking bankroll the whole thing again.
Yeah, again, they're an independent studio, so it's like, how much would they be able to afford to put towards something? And if it's AEW, then if AEW wants another like, good sized game, then I don't think there would be even close to being what AEW needs. I don't see Acclaim doing anything licensed at this point.
I do wonder if there's any potential, because you mentioned Kenny meeting with someone that's involved with a major Sega franchise. I do wonder if there's any chance Sega gets interested in wrestling again. They certainly have the fucking money to piss away.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a very weird thing, right? Because we've talked about it time and time again, but it's like it's the WWE brand, right? That's what people view as wrestling, like so many people. And
Yeah.
without that license, the interest goes way down. I mean, AEW obviously made a name for themselves, but the Fight Forever didn't do very well, right? And it's like, are you willing to take the chance on something that isn't WWE? If this was the 90s, absolutely.
Yeah,
Like,
because the
the,
budgets were so much smaller, and
exactly, yeah. And there was so much variety. We'd have so many different things. If the video game industry was the same as it was in the 90s, we'd have so many different options right now. It'd be crazy. But it's not.
yeah,
It's WWE or bust. And it's like, we see independent projects that are like that struggle to move forward. And if someone was just willing to like lend a helping hand and say, here's some money, we'll help you publish this, but nobody wants to do that for pro wrestling. And it's sad. I mean, it goes with other sports too, right? Like, you need to have the modern license, you need to have um the football license is the proper license of the NBA. Like, otherwise, that what's happened to the wrestling business, and when it comes to video games, it's the exact same thing that's happened to other sports. It's a monopoly, right? It's like,
yeah.
but I remember like how excited I was. I wasn't even a huge football fan, but when they made All Star Pro Football, because it was like a different option from Madden, and I loved the 2K games, and so I bought that. I was like, yeah, this is great. And
That
there
game
was
was
no,
awesome.
and that was the last one. There was never another one. Um, so yeah, it's the exact same thing that we're seeing with wrestling. It's like, maybe AEW was the all pro football. Maybe it's like one and done, and we don't get something else for a good while.
You know what?
Fucking sucks.
AEW Fight Forever was? It was EA MMA. It had the
Yeah,
secondary license, and they
that's
put legends that people recognized on the cover
exactly
because
that.
Sting and Jericho were both on it.
That's the exact same idea. It's like, well, we'll try to do something that's not UFC, and I really liked the MMA. I thought that was great.
It was
But
awesome. Yeah.
look what's going on with MMA games. Like, there's nothing unless you want some bullshit mobile game. It's the
In
same
like
thing.
UFC 6 apparently got fucking delayed
Yeah.
because I guess there was a trailer that might have been ready to go like recently, like August time frame, but which was a month ago. Or right around basically DDP versus Hamzat, there was like the trailer was ready, but it got pushed back. And there's speculation it was due to the Paramount deal. But here's the thing about the WWE license being the be all end all. Look at every independent game right now.
Yeah.
I don't The license roster in UPW is really cool. You're never going to hear me say that in theory that roster isn't cool because there's a lot of names I'd like to play as in a video game. But you're also doing this in a game where you have to understand you're not going to sell a whole lot of copies.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to sell a whole lot of copies, not even because of the art style, not even because of the gameplay. Licensed roster might help you with some people. The overall, like the bigger audience is never going to fucking care about something that doesn't have the WWE logo on it. It doesn't matter how hard you nostalgia bait. It doesn't matter how unique your gameplay might be. There are going to be people that just don't give a shit because they don't see the branding.
Yeah. I mean, there's like, if you think about today's WWE audience, they would see UPW and say like, oh, this looks shit. Like, why does it look like an N64 game? Yada yada. You slap the WWE name on it, and all of a sudden they're interested.
Like, oh man, this looks just like the game my dad showed me.
Or whatever the fuck they would
God,
say.
old as hell.
Yeah. Dog, I had a moment yesterday where like the cashier at Ollie's was like, and God bless her, she didn't do this, but she looked like the type of person that would see a grown man buying action figures and go, "Aren't you a little old for this?" And I thought about like if this hypothetical scenario would have happened, my reaction was going to be, "Well, ma'am, who do you think the target audience for these action figures based on a match from July 1996 when I was fucking 4 years old, almost 5? Who do you think the target audience for these figures is exactly?" And then I thought about it and I was like, "Fuck, man, I'm old." People talking about like being in preschool watching John Cena versus Edge. Like I was in
Oh
fucking high
God,
school, bro.
I know,
Fuck.
crazy.
And because like obviously I follow Tyrese Halliburton from the Pacers, And, like, he's obviously super young. He's like a huge John Cena fan, and I was just like, I saw like one of the stories he shared, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, no, I'm old as fuck because the guys that are in the NBA now grew up watching a generation, like an era of WWE that I just thought was dog shit.
Dude,
And now,
seeing these fans that talk about like, oh, one of my favorite childhood wrestlers was AJ Lee, and I'm like, oh god.
yeah, her fucking return, and just like people being nostalgic for like 2010s WWE, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
huh? I'm sure there was somebody in like 2005 that was like, wait, you're nostalgic for like 19, you liked Vader? What? Because like that's what I would have grown up with, obviously, when I was little, my childhood. I'm sure there would have been somebody in like '05 whose frame of reference was like the 80s that would just be flabbergasted by that. But like when I see people talking about like my childhood wrestling game was WWE 2K16, like, huh?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you not only you've never had like a current good wrestling game, but what's more than that is you were born well after the last one. That's not fair. 12, 13, and 2K14 are good games. But like even the people that were like, I grew up playing WWE 2K14, I'm just like, God damn, how fucking old are you? Were you born in like 2002, 2003? Jesus Christ.
The ones I see are like SmackDown versus Raw 2006, and I can't remember anything about the rosters in those games because they're all like jumbled in my mind, and I'm just like, how the fuck did you grow up on that? I don't. It doesn't compute.
When I hear people say that, it's weird because like we talked about it when we reviewed it. 9.2 on IGN's highest rated wrestling game of all time. I understand why people like that game. I can't vibe with it because the gameplay kind of sucks. When I see people saying like their favorite wrestling game from their childhood's like SmackDown '09, I'm just like, God damn, your parents didn't even buy you Impact? Your parents didn't even think of you to buy you the fucking wrestling game that came out that year that was actually good?
But we do see
And
it
yeah, I
from
said
people
it,
like
Impact is good.
you do see it from people like our age too, like the guy that was like, "Oh, you need WWF Attitude Acclaim." It's like, what the fuck?
I see that though, because like that was a very like we might have talked about when we reviewed that game. Actually, we've never actually gone back and done like individual reviews for the Acclaim games. Just want to throw that out there. Um, but like Attitude was honestly like out of every wrestling game I've been alive for, that was the first one that felt like a big event release because like the EGM magazines with like the multiple different covers, like how they did the TV guide ones,
Yeah,
and like all of the press, like the game got pushed back, and there were like cards at fucking Toys R Us I've seen like in the electronics section where like the Attitude card was like the game has been pushed back to this date. Uh, like that game had so much fucking hype, so I understand it. Like it was a big deal to me. It's still a big deal to me. I remember how I felt when I finally saw that cover in stores and sat there with my uncle Pat, God rest his soul, watching Superstars and having to see that commercial every fucking commercial break and be like, God, I just want to go home and play this game. But it's not a good game. Um, like I get that because I remember the hype, but I don't get that from I had so much fun playing this game perspective because fuck, man. And it's crazy to think there are going to be people that grow up with like 2K24 being like their game.
yeah,
I mean, I guess 2K24 was better than like the last several. Honestly, that might be the best of the 2K games, other than 2K14. But I consider 14 a THQ game because
yeah.
it basically was. Um, but like everything from 2K15 onward, fuck 14. 14 looks like goddamn SmackDown Shut Your Mouth compared to a lot of that stuff.
It's true.
And I mean, that's also the game where they started grandfathering in a lot of stuff from SmackDown Shut Your Mouth and like that whole era of like the throwing weapons, which IGN, I still can't get over them pretending like that was the first wrestling game ever. Like, what are you, like 12? But God, What the fuck could they even do for two? Like, what's the island going to be next year? Because it's not going to be the island every year, I would imagine.
It'll be the C Nation.
Fuck. You think they're going to do another Cena showcase? This time it's like matches he won.
I don't know if they'll do a Cena showcase, but I think like the island thing will be Cena centric. I don't know what they would do for a showcase next year. I'm trying to think like what is it?
Well,
Is it
if they
like,
still had a bunch of people on the farm, I have a great idea. Fucking 30 years of the NWO.
yeah, that's exactly what just came into my mind. It went just before you said it. It
But
would be very
no Sting, no Luger. Oh no, they have Luger. They don't have Sting. They don't have Flair
no
either.
Sting, no
No
Flair,
Giant.
no. I mean, it's a hell of an idea. It just doesn't really work out. I mean, who actually do they have? They'd have Hogan, Nash, Hall. They could do Boss Man. They've got Six, Bischoff.
They've got Goldberg. They've got Luger.
You could probably get DiBiase back, but he would just be in
I
as
think
like
they
a
still
rep,
have
I mean.
DiBiase. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's still under a
Piper,
deal. Yeah, yeah, they got Piper.
DDP.
Harlem Heat for the Outsiders match.
If they could get Barbarian, I mean, they've got Haku.
Faces of Fear versus like just having them in a game again would probably actually get me to maybe consider buying.
Starcade 96. That'd be cool.
That match is so fucking good.
Yeah, it's great.
That's like that might be the best like non-ladder match I've ever seen Scott Hall in. That match is so good. It's probably the best Kevin Nash match that doesn't involve fucking Sean or Brett too.
Speaking of like ladder matches, I mean, it wasn't a well received match, but like Eddie and Six from Sold Out, if you want to do the Sold Out arena again. I mean,
God
there's a
knows they
few
love
options.
reusing those old arena models.
What's that?
So God knows they love reusing those old arena models.
Yeah. I mean, there's stuff you could do. It's just missing the big things, right? Because like Sting obviously is like the biggest part, and he wouldn't be in it, of course.
I'm trying to think of like
You do Warrior and Hogan from Halloween Havoc.
yeah,
Does that
yeah, unironically.
does Horace get a deal out of that?
I think we could just ignore Horace Hogan's existence, honestly.
Well, I mean, also like if you do like the whole NWO, I mean, you can go into like you got Steiner and
I was gonna
you
say
know you
they've
could,
got the Steiner brothers, so you can do the Rick and Scott stuff.
is there any matches you can do with Brett other than Goldberg from when he was in the NWO?
Isn't there like a Brett Savage Piper and someone tag match?
Sounds familiar, yeah.
So like maybe that.
You do would you do Hogan and Rock again, maybe?
Oh yeah, I forgot about the WWF run. That's something that could be included.
Yeah.
Because like what else would be a significant enough, and maybe I'm thinking too broadly in terms of anniversaries, but like what else could they even do that would be interesting now? Oh, I mean, if you wanted to capitalize on Hogan, I mean,
like the
they
Hulkamania mode.
they got everybody. They got Bundy. They had Mr. T. They've got Orndorff and Cowboy Bob. You could literally do the Mania 1 main event again unless Mr. T is no longer under a deal. They've got Savage back, allegedly. So you do Mania 5, SummerSlam 89, the main event. You could do
the Cage and Boss Man.
Yeah.
To bring Boss Man back in.
Obviously Warrior. We could do that match for like the fucking 49th time. You can't do the Mania 7.
Just change it up.
That would be fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got Earthquake. It would be an interesting way to get him in the game. He had a version of him we haven't had before because it's always black, white, and red singlet.
Hogan and Goldberg. I mean, obviously Hogan loses that match, but it was a pretty big match. You know, that'd be cool.
Obviously, Hogan and Rock. the Hogan and Brock you could do too, I guess.
You could also do like what if matches, and they could put in Hogan versus Austin.
Oh, it's kind of like a tacked on thing, like the Samoans match, and yeah, they
Yeah,
could.
like Hogan versus Austin, Hogan versus Reigns, Hogan versus Cena.
Yeah, obviously you could do Hogan and Shawn.
Hogan and Undertaker from Survivor Series. On not Survivor Series.
Judgment Day 02.
What was the other one? Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday in Texas, but that
Yeah,
requires
yeah, yeah.
Flair.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
They could bring back the Enforcer for that one.
yeah, yeah. That's a good idea. No one noticed the difference.
I mean, I was really worried this year was going to be before we saw the cover with Roman. I was really worried this year was going to be 30 years of Triple H. I guess there's always next year.
I know. I'm always worried about that because that seems like the shittiest thing. Him and Orton would be like the worst fucking showcases.
Well, the Orton one, you'd have to omit like the obvious match.
Yeah.
So like, and you'd have to omit the rematch too. So there goes two Orton attires you just wouldn't get because that wouldn't be in the game.
But
And
dude, you could have the Bray Wyatt match with the worms on the ring.
I would be way more interested in like the fucking 03 to like 07 stuff in that.
Yeah.
Like the Austin match at Survivor Series 03, if they could make that work, the RVD match from Armageddon, the Mania 20 handicap match, but they don't have Flair for that. So yeah, Backlash 04, that would be really cool. The Shelton match, the Edge match, literally everything I'd want to play is like 04 to 07. After that, I would just kind of be depressed. This is not a, that's like, that run right there is like when he was like one of my favorite wrestlers in the world. He still probably is if I really think about it. He's still good, but like that like 03 to 07 time period, like he was the only guy in the Fed I gave a fuck about when Brock left. And
What? I'm just
what
trying to think.
showcases could you fucking do? Like goddamn. Oh, you can't do the Edge match. I said that. Jesus. I'm sorry.
Yeah, wasn't the whole reason for like New Jack being in this year's games because Nick Khan apparently was a big New Jack fan?
That's the story that was given. I don't know that I buy that for a second, though.
Yeah, I mean, what if you could do like an ECW showcase? That would be cool. It's
I
just like,
mean,
how far are you willing to go when it comes to like talent?
it's not even that. How far are you willing to go when it comes to licensing music?
Yeah, they wouldn't. You'd have in the
Like
ghetto back and stuff.
And I mean this literally, any ECW thing that replaces the music, you suck the soul out of everything. Like, it might
Yeah.
be really cool to see those models, but the second Rob Van Dam doesn't have walk, I don't give a fuck. Sandman walking out to anything, go get the Motorhead version of Enter Sandman, but anything other than Enter Sandman is bullshit. God forbid they get Shane Douglas. He comes out to anything other than Perfect Strangers, like, fuck it, I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh,
They could get
God,
the WCW ripoff, but they don't like getting Jimmy Hart's music, it seems, for whatever reason.
Yeah, there's no like significant pay-per-view anniversaries next year for the WWF. Like, I could have made the argument this year if they got in their bag, they could have done like an in-your-house showcase for the 30th
Mhm.
anniversary. But they didn't introduce anything in 96 that ended up being like a tent pole. I mean, you could maybe do an Undertaker showcase eventually, but like, fuck.
What about like Saturday night's main event?
That's an interesting one, but they also just got kicked off NBC.
That's true.
I mean, they have so many people. Like, that could be a way to get Terry Funk in and not silly old man Terry Funk.
Yeah.
Like half that mode's gonna. You may as well just do a Hogan showcase. Half the shit's gonna have him. But yeah, that would be an interesting idea because it would force them to get creative with the Legends roster for a fucking change. I mean, I guess this year did too, because like Wild Samoans, Haku. Yeah.
Yeah, some wild names in there for sure.
Yeah. I mean, a new generation showcase would be cool. I still stand by that. Obviously, we couldn't have Owen. I'm fine with that. I don't think the Fed should ever be allowed to do anything with Owen Hart's image ever again. Um, but they still have everybody, basically, except Owen.
Maybe they
They got
they, they
Diesel.
might they might do like another like Attitude Era type thing. I could see that. If you look at like the names that they've got back, like D-Law and the Outlaws, and you've
Ruthless
got
aggression mode.
all of DX now, right?
Yeah, but they've
Like,
had all of DX ever since they had China. Like
well, they
back in the
haven't had, but they haven't had like Billy Gunn and Road Dogg in the past few games.
Oh, I just mean like under deals. They've
Yeah,
had them
yeah. I
forever.
just mean like when it comes to like bringing them back into games, like once they see that they've got who they've got on the roster, maybe they'll come up with the idea of doing something like that again. I don't know, but
I
um,
mean, that sounds more appropriate for 2K27 because then they could just say 30 years of attitude.
that's true. But then again, they're so weird about that shit anyway. They could be like, "Oh, it started in '96 with I don't know, Brian
You mean like they
Pillman."
did with that attitude unreleased Blu-ray they did where like the first disc is almost all like 96 and like early 97 stuff?
Yeah, they're just bullshit anyway. So,
I noticed they put an Undertaker and Austin match from that Blu-ray on YouTube
oh yeah,
on the Vault. Yeah. There's an Austin and Brett match on that Blu-ray that it's from Germany. It's from like April 96 and I haven't seen it in a few years, but I remember the last time I watched that I thought that was better than every match those two had except WrestleMania 13. Like I genuinely thought it was better than Survivor Series as well.
yeah. That match was going around Twitter recently.
Oh, the one from Germany? Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah, it's on the Attitude Era unreleased. And it's really funny because all the cutaways are Corey Graves in front of like a mock version of like the 99 2000 interview backdrop. And he's throwing the like fucking Ultimate Warrior and Owen Hart at MSG where Owen's hand gets broken. And they're like, oh, is this the match where Owen has the cast? I mean, you see him clutching his hand, and then like right after that, he's got the cast, and it's like, well, perhaps. You know what I would like to see for Showcase? Just split it up into like 4 different stories. Just pick 4 different people and do like 6 or 7 matches each.
With like, there's like the Road to WrestleMania that used to do.
Yeah, or like how they had the Attitude Era mode divided up into chapters.
Yeah,
Like it doesn't have to be like one story through for everyone, but like it would be very interesting if we got like here's like if you wanted one, like here's a Cena one, here's an Undertaker one, here's a Hogan one, here's a fucking whoever the fuck one.
yeah.
Like here's a Trish Stratus one since basically every opponent she had that was a big name is back in the farm anyway.
Yeah, I mean that would be an interesting idea, but also when we're talking about the NWO, like obviously there's a lot of gaps, but like maybe they just use that as like an excuse to do like a WCW one. Like that would be very, very neat. Like this is when WCW took over, and then you've got like a Nitro era type thing, you know?
Yeah, I. It's so weird with like WCW because I feel like we would have gotten that years ago. They're obviously way more willing to do the action figures and stuff of WCW now. I don't
Yeah.
know that they're willing to give that same kind of presence to the like this year would have been the perfect year to do a 30 years of the Monday Night War one.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And I
I don't
don't
know. I'm very interested to see though, because with this year, that's when we got so, as I talked about before, getting like the Wild Samoans and shit like that. It's like there's an opportunity for Showcase to get some things that you wouldn't expect. So be interesting to see where they
yeah.
go with it.
I'm also curious to see what reveals they do around Ringside Fest time for the Mattel line.
Yeah.
Um, we know that allegedly the Monday Night War line isn't going anywhere anytime soon. That's from like a recent Mattel Steve and Magic Olmas interview. I am curious how much juice is left in that line though. Like
Yeah, I mean, they've already revisited some of the same ones, right? Like, it'd be nice if they put
Same
some new
guys,
wrestlers
different
in there.
gears. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is like that stuff is all it all comes down to like licensing or whatever.
Hmm.
But who like we don't know who the second WWF Ultimate for next year is going to be. We know Kurt Angle's hitting late this year, early next. DDP is presumably the springtime Ultimate like Luger was this year. And then that leaves the summer / early fall WWF guy, and then the late fall / winter WCW guy. I'd like to see WCW champion Booker. At this point, I don't really care if it's an elite or an ultimate.
Yeah.
Glacier would be cool, but he's in AEW, and they don't seem especially compelled to try to fucking do anything with him.
No.
So yeah, I don't know. I did see Superman is on HBO Max. I still haven't watched it. I'm probably going to do that today. It all depends
Yeah.
how motivated I feel.
I love that movie, and Peacemaker's been really, really good this season too.
And speaking of Warner Brothers, recently there was the rumor of Paramount trying to acquire them, which is also fucking led to speculation that Netflix and Amazon are also looking at it. And my concerns are many when it comes to this. Warner Brothers' physical media department has turned it around. They're not near the level of like the boutique companies, but they're really fucking good again. There's the issue of the Warner Brothers like archives, the Cartoon Network archives, fucking WB Games and the IPs under that, like Mortal Kombat. What's going to happen to New Line Cinema? What's going to happen to like TBS and TNT? How fucked is AEW going to be? What would happen to DC Comics? There's so many things that could potentially just get torched by any of these acquisitions or mergers. And I really wish the fucking antitrust was a thing. I really do.
They've done like really, really well at the box office this year. Like they made history of so many movies that were hits, or I don't know what the exact details were, but like Sinners and Weapons. I think Weapons was them, and like Superman and a bunch of stuff. F1. So yeah, they were getting like a lot of praise recently, and it sucks to see like them. I mean, I guess this is how business works, but it sucks to see them get some praise and release some good products, and then be like, oh yeah, now we're sold to this company that's gonna fuck everything up, you know?
Yeah, it's stupid. I hate it. I also acquired the Arkham Asylum compact, and I have not to this point had a single negative word to say about any of these compact books, and unfortunately I now have to say one.
Uh-oh.
I had heard that there were some issues with readability. The way that book is lettered, the way like Joker's stuff is lettered, it's red and it's like this scratchy font. Some of the stuff where like Amadeus Arkham is talking is done in a completely different font, and at the smaller trim size, I was like, there might be some issues. Paper stock comes into play way more than I thought it would in this, though. The dullness of the paper stock makes reading the Joker parts like fucking impossible unless I got through about half the book just holding up my phone camera whenever Joker talked, and somehow that made it clearer, probably because like magnifying. But great story. The compact is absolutely not the way I would recommend reading it. Buy the regular trade paperback, buy the absolute. But like newsprint style like paper does not suit it. Suits the art. It actually, I do love the way the art looks on the paper, but the way it's lettered is just fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Like I get not wanting to change the books from their original versions. Adding in traditional word bubbles for Joker probably would have fucked with the intent. because it's supposed to look and read really fucked up. But I would have gladly taken a drop shadow underneath everything he says. That would have made that so much easier to read. And as long as it wasn't a huge drop shadow, it wouldn't have messed with the artwork at all, I don't think. So I was very disappointed with that. We're a couple of weeks out from Long Halloween. I know the Harley Quinn book is waiting for me at the comic shop. This year was also the year where I kind of realized that maybe I didn't need to be a completionist on this line. And next year will finally break me because there's like 5 books next year, I think, that I'm going to give my time to in that line. And the rest of it is just kind of like, yeah, that's cool. I don't need it. I also noticed Punisher Welcome Back Frank is getting a Marvel Premiere Collection in February. And for anybody that hasn't read that, that's a fucking great book.
Yeah.
Like, Garth Ennis' Punisher is fucking tremendous. But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading Long Halloween. It also has a different page count than all of the other collected editions I was able to find. It's 386, and everything is either like as much as like 10 pages in either direction. So, or it might be 376. It's one of the bigger compact books. I think New Frontier still has the record because that's like a 400-page book. It's bigger than Watchmen, which was 388, I believe. But yeah, I can't recommend in good conscience that anybody buy the compact of Arkham Asylum. It's not the optimal way to read that story. It's just not.
It's a shame.
Yeah, because it's such a great freaking story. Did we mention the last time we talked that IDW? Well, no, it was 2 weeks ago, and we haven't recorded in 3. IDW has their own line of digest-sized books coming out, starting with Godzilla Rulers of Earth. I think that comes out in February. That thing is 600 fucking pages almost. It's by far the biggest book that's been released or being released in this form factor. These are 6x9, so Marvel Premiere Collection, Invincible New Edition, Saga New Edition, trim size, $13.99 US. I think $17 in Canada.
I think so.
But
Yeah, I got it pre-ordered.
It's a good price, especially given the page count. We got Lock and Key Volume 1. That's the second one that's coming out. The Rocketeer is coming out as well. And there's another book. I think it's like Dave, where the A is a 4. I'm not going to call it D4V because, yeah. They don't have anything else announced. Vault Comics, those December books got pushed forward to the first week of November. I reached out to them on Instagram because I was like, hey, my LCS says November now. And they told me, yeah, that's correct. They're announcing their second wave of those in December. I'm imagining there's going to be another Money Shot book. I'd like to see Barbaric released.
Yeah, I would like to see that too, yeah.
It's a very cool looking book. And there's a couple of like horror books that they do that look kind of interesting. So it's going to be fascinating as we get further into next year to see if like Image, for example, decides like, Walking Dead 6x9s. Let's do Spawn 6x9s. I can't believe that DC aren't releasing the absolute trades in this form factor, because with how easily they're able to get those into like non-conventional stores, like there's gas stations that have the DC compact like cardboard displays. I would be getting the absolute books out there in that form factor at that price point because that's your current shit anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And Marvel should be doing the same thing. Well, they don't have any active books. Like the Ultimate Universe stuff is good, but like everybody should be trying to hit that digest-sized form factor. I've been saying it for like a year now. Like that's
for sure.
That's where you got to go with these things. Is there anything else? I'm trying to think if we've missed anything. Oh, Title Run Toys. They showed off renders for the Beverly Brothers and Johnny B. Bad. That Johnny B. Bad looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I don't know that I'm going to be buying it, but it looks very cool. Also, Epic announced they were doing the Beverly Brothers. I don't think we need two companies doing them, especially when I think they look kind of similar. Unless I'm
Yeah.
insane and I just completed Title Run in Epic.
Was it KWK doing Beverly?
Maybe. Oh, and we saw the Mike McGurk render recently too. She's going to be in the run-in series, which is going to be the like in stock limited edition. She's in the same sub series as the Jumping Bomb Angels, so we'll see. We'll see how that that shakes out. These renders look so much better than Series 1 did.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it's crazy how much better the renders for like Johnny B. Bad and the Beverly Brothers look than the kind of god awful renders they did for Series 1 where they were like so stylized that there's no way they're going to fit in on a shelf. And I don't think Mitch has shown anything recently on the Regium line, right?
He's having a figure made of himself again, I think, but nothing on the Regium, no.
Why? Who fucking cares, man?
I don't know. I know the Diesel figures are going for like a good amount on eBay. That's no surprise.
I think all the Diesel ones are still in stock too. That's wacky.
Oh, are they? Huh.
I think Oz was the only one that was sold out the last time I looked.
Crazy.
Also, it's very strange to me that one of the Beverly Brothers has the gorilla press pose going on and the other has the clothesline.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, I guess it's to give them like kind of parody with the Road Warriors, but that doesn't also make sense because one was a jumper.
I'm trying to think what poses would work for them.
Honestly, you know what Hasbro might have done with them? Just two clothesline bodies.
Yeah, I could see that.
That feels like what they would have done with those guys because I mean they're basically twins, right?
Yeah, you mean like the anvil style? I could, yeah,
Like the Greg Valentine Macho Man #2 kind of.
yeah, exactly.
Has the Top Rope Collectibles like the Galoob style fuckers? Have they said anything recently? I feel like I haven't heard about
I
them.
I can check right now, but I haven't seen anything since the Marcus Bagwell.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just see here though Joey Janela and they're doing Mark Merrow as well. But no, they haven't showed anything off since like the Orndorff and Bagwell.
I still think that Orndorff shouldn't have the gimped arm, like the kind of
Yeah.
like attribute arm. So I'm looking on Wrestling Figs, and 4 days ago, Ringside Tom said, in response to being asked if there are future figure plans at the moment, he said they are planning to being worked on. I would love to see some for the holiday season and sooner, but if they're not up to my standards, it won't happen.
Well,
Uh,
I guess we'll see.
yeah, it feels like that's the only real movement this line's had in a minute. Um, just looking through the thread real quick. He was asked in 6 days ago, said nothing to share at the moment about future figures. So maybe that line about like we have a crazy name that might have actually been back in like July when he was on the thing with Wrestling Figure News and what's his name, Nick Storm.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been. But yeah, there's not like a whole lot else to go over. It's been kind of an exhausting week.
Yeah.
to say the least. So I mean, I'm off the next 2 Sundays, probably next 3, maybe next
I'm off
4.
like the next several Sundays.
Well, if the situation at my job goes the way that I've been expecting it to since Tuesday, I might be in the same boat. We might start doing a Dynamite recap podcast, like fucking post wrestling,
Yeah.
if things go the way I'm thinking they will. But yeah, we'll record next Sunday. Hopefully, we can figure out a topic.
How
WWF
wrestling?
Warzone. No. Yeah, how wrestling and pro wrestling for the NES for real this time. We'll talk about both of those. It gives me an excuse to play How Wrestling some more, which is nice. We'll talk about if there is a PlayStation State of Play. Obviously, we'll talk about that. Tokyo Game Show. God forbid we get any more news on Jazzwares AEW, which I probably will, like right after we fucking stop recording, because that's just how this works. But until then, take care. Don't be an asshole. Watch what you post online, apparently, and don't be an asshole.
One.